Beyond Saltmarsh is a game played by adults and recorded for an adult audience. Sometimes we use adult language, explore adult topics. Consider yourself warned.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Superior Adventurers Guild. My name is Dave, your humble dungeon master. I'm here to play games with my friends. We get to do this on the weekly, and it is a joy. We've been running this particular campaign since March of 2020, if you can believe that. We are closing in shortly on the tail end of this story arc, but fear not, our stories will continue in Greyhawk. We're working on some of the details behind that, but I think it is important to go ahead and introduce tonight's heroes. My friends, my good buddies, these beautiful, beautiful people. Hi. Hello. Cue the fairy dust.
Hey.
We need some some sort of like bell chimes or something. Yeah. Welcome everybody. Welcome back. It's been a week. Luckily we're playing D&D and we get to have some fun and play in the world of make-believe where, you know, terrible things are happening. So not unlike the real world necessarily. Uh-oh, Techie Woman is coming in hot. Thank you so much. One additional advantage for everybody. That's very kind of you, Techie Woman. Super excited to hear about your new computer. Let's get into some introductions. I would love if we could start out with Kirk this week. Kirk, tell us a little bit about yourself and who you're playing.
All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Kirk, and I'm playing Byron Hern, the baddest, most dangerous man you'll ever meet.
Most likely to die this episode.
He'll steal your wallet. He'll run away when you're expecting him to cover your back.
He's already stolen my sunglasses. I have that pair.
He'll fall asleep while he's on watch. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Narcolepsy.
Oh, yeah.
It's a thing. It's a D&D problem, just like it is in the real world. Thank you, Kirk, for being here, buddy. Glad you're back. Let's jump on over to Michael.
Hello there. My name is Michael. I'm happy to be here. I'm playing Theodoric the Lacetus. He is a level 10 Hexblade Warlock. He is concerned about the current situation going on and is developing. It appears there may be an army of undead coming from the wild. Who can tell how this will end? Tune in now.
Thank you. Ashley.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ashley. I am playing Feyre Evenstar for you, the 10th level College of Glamour Bard. And we are in a tight spot. But I am excited to see how it ends up. Yeah, you can also find Ashley at Minnesota Muse 99 on Twitter.
Great to see you again, Ashley. Thanks for being here. Over to Andy.
Oh, yeah. My name is Andy. I'm playing Runar Deg, a 10th level human dual sword wielding battlemaster fighter and captain of the Good Buddy.
Oh, I'm hearing a little bit of what was that guy's name? Zebulon.
Maybe a little Zeb.
Little Zeb.
A little
Nice.
Excited. Yeah.
Oh yeah, as you should be
That
excited.
Sweet Southern accent.
Yep.
Oh, just gravelly and delicious. Thank you guys all for being here. I appreciate you all. Of course, I'm Dave. I run games, play games. There was some Randy Savage in there. There's no question about it. Run games, play games, and produce games here. We've got a bunch of new games on the way, so stay tuned. Hop over to our Twitter to connect with us. And if you want to get involved at all, jump on over to our Discord as well. We're actively calling for some new players and some new games. I would love to tell you a little bit about our sponsors. As you all know, we have some awesome sponsors. CZRPG has been with us for quite some time. They are producers of great Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition content, including this piece of content that we're giving away tonight, Aquacedent, or Aquacadent. Aquacedent's a real word. No, antecedent.
I don't believe you.
Anyways, this is Aquacadent is the city of waterfalls, a high fantasy settlement run by a married queen who manages to offer good quality of life to her people by ransoming water across the nearby nations. Can the party put an end to this aqua antecedent nightmare? 23 pages, great PDF. new lore, new location, 3 detailed encounters, stat blocks, custom artwork, and so many battle maps. These guys do it right, and this is fun stuff that you can drop into any campaign. I also want to give a shout out to our friends at Old Goat Beard Company. They are the creators, handcrafted, of course, of beard oils, beard balms, soaps, and other beard-related stuff.
But not beard bombs, correct?
We'll have to clarify that with Andy and his wife, who make the stuff in their kitchen.
I'm looking forward to that
using
technology.
Special
Beard
ingredients.
oil would be a balm, right?
Balms, yes, beard
What's
balms.
the definition of a balm?
It's different consistency, right?
We are not qualified to answer that question. Hopefully, Andy will show up in chat. The Old Goat himself, he drops in from time to time. In the meantime, Andy,
ointment.
we will we'll let you do some Googling, and we will jump into a recap from last week. There's much to discuss, much to determine tonight. So in our last episode, the Deg Gang had passed through a portal that had been created for you by Argosalon, a giant tree-like creature that you had saved from a nightmare sleep that had been ensorcelled with for generations of the local elf tribe called the Namashal. You had transported yourselves across the vast distance of the Medio jungle to an area, a fellow tree that Argosalon knew from the Tamoachan region. You, of course, carrying forth Ogbrick Dralian's quest to recover the missing fragments of the Fugitive Realities map, and then to use those fragments to reproduce the map and uncover the location of Tamoachan. The lost city of the once powerful Olman Empire. Now, shrouded as it is now in mystery and the promise of great power. So while you were doing this, you found yourselves racing against others who might harness the power for their own evil machinations, calling themselves the Brotherhood. These well-organized and seemingly well-funded assassins always seem to be one step ahead or just behind you in your quest to find this place. In Saltmarsh, their spies had infiltrated the local council and propped up local businessmen, leveraging the promise of power to gain sway politically. They used their influence in politics and in the criminal underground to track you and gain knowledge of your party's missions. In Narisbin, you ran into them a little bit more organized and a little bit more embedded. They had been conspiring with the dark evil that had plagued the city for decades, gaining power again amongst the merchant elite, financing forays into the dense Medio jungle in their search to discover the lost city of Tamoachan. And now we find ourselves, thank you, we find ourselves in Tamoachan. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm one, Tamoachan.
Thank you.
2, there's fabulous merch in someone's back shot.
There's a pillow. We'll get to that. You've made your way to the ruins where you discovered 3 cracked stone obelisks standing guard upon the edge of the city, each topped with a strange bat-like statue and marked with carvings akin to the cursed dark writings of the elder elemental eye that you had encountered at various times throughout your journeys. Runar took note of a winged creature obscured by the unnatural darkness and dense canopy flying above you. Continuing on, you found tattered remnants of a camp surrounding a stone ziggurat, hidden within the jungle, bodies strewn about, showing signs of decapitation, stakes through chests and the like. Investigations into some of those tents, you found notes and diagrams referencing the placement of a 3-legged theodolite survey device atop a stone pillar, a device much like the one that Byron had stolen from Dralian's observatory in Saltmarsh, used, as it were, to identify the entrance to the lost shrine. Looking about, you located a unique pillar matching those diagrams, itself surrounded with scaffolding, and putting the pieces together and hearing more movement ahead. Byron climbed the scaffolding while Runar and Theo kept overwatch. Feyre began to cast the protective magic of the tiny hut. Movement in the dark sky above caused Runar to tighten his bowstring. Theo caught movement in the trees and fired off an eldritch blast. Atop the pillar, Byron was suddenly overcome with dread and purpose. He placed the tripod and slotted in the ixocoatl medallion into the receiver, and instantly this beam of radiant blue arcane energy erupted from the device and shot across the jungle, intersecting with a second larger ziggurat in the distance, identifying the location of the shrine's entrance. With this revelation came the terrifying sound of snarling and growling from the dense jungle surrounding you. Looking about, you watched as humanoid bipedal creatures begin to emerge from the darkness around you, converging on your location. As the horde, dozens now, visible in the shrouded moonlight, there is little else but to run. You have but a moment before you must act, and then, my friends, we're going to enter into a skill challenge as you race towards the ziggurat. Is there anything you want to do before you leave this pillar? This is where we're at the moment. These creatures are emerging from the jungle. You have a second before you need to take off running. Is there anything you want to do?
Theo was just reaching up, grabbing Runar's ankle and yelling,
Feyre,
Feyre, grab Byron! And he
Byron, we gotta go now.
In the middle of Runar yelling, we've got to go, like, clips off at the last second as he dimension doors the two of them 500 feet towards where that light had gone. Just grab, poop.
So you grab Deg?
I got Dig.
Okay. Byron, come here.
Oh, wait. I need the tripod. I'm going to start packing up everything, grab the coital amulet, stuff it into my bag.
Okay, as he's doing that, then I will climb up to him.
You get up onto the pillar, and now you can see Feyre as these creatures, they look to be some sort of a cross between vampires and zombies, emerge around you. They're coming. They get to the pillar, and they're starting to scratch at the pillar.
I grab Byron and dimension door.
You are pulled forward to the space that you can see in the darkness ahead. The four of you now running. Behind you, you see this pillar being overcome, and then others of these creatures start coming out, surrounding you as well. They continue to, almost as if they can smell your presence. So, my friends, we're going to enter into a skill challenge as the four of you are now running towards the ziggurat. I'd like you to give me a little bit of flavor and identify a skill that you want to use to try to, get to the ziggurat with the least amount of, trouble from these creatures as they chase you. Who would like to go first?
I would like to start, since we both just popped out at the same near location, that I will bonus action, cast my Mantle of Inspiration on myself, which will give everybody temporary hit points.
Nice.
11 temporary hit points, and give them a whole round of movement immediately.
Oh, nice.
Hell yeah.
Boost.
You guys get like a little boost of speed as you're running. Make sure you jot down the extra hit points as your temporary hit points. Who would like to make a skill check as part of this challenge? Go ahead, Runar.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Runar's just running full out. I imagine there's like ruins and like scaffolding and stuff all over the place. So he's just like deftly kind of like just jumping over things in his path, and every now and then firing arrows back over his shoulder at the things coming at him. So I'd like to use acrobatics.
All right, give me an acrobatics
as a
check.
skill.
And I do remind you that you do have some advantages at your disposal if you'd like to use them.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to use one of my advantages.
Okay.
Here we go.
Thanks to the chat for helping provide some extra opportunities for success.
Holy macaroni.
Natural 20.
Raising
Wow.
the bar.
Yeah, I'd say. Damn, so that counts as 2 successes. Very nice. So you're able to jump over rocks and jump onto like a swinging branch of a tree and like fling yourself over. These creatures are like diving at your feet, but you're able to like just skip out of the way as they're kind of like trying to tackle you, almost like you're running for the end zone kind of thing. But without much difficulty, you make it to the foot of this stairway, this rocky, cracked stone stairway that goes up 50 feet to the top of the ziggurat. It is covered with moss, but it also looks as though there's been work here. As you're running past mangled bodies on the ground. You're running past more of these tattered tents, almost as if there was an archaeological site here as well, just like with the previous ziggurat. Theo, why don't you go next?
Theo is just, whereas Runar is like being, selective and perhaps even graceful in his work, Theo's gonna just kind of brute force it, like straight up and we're running, something's there, jumping, something's a little bit too close, Eldritch Blast, and is going to try and just do straight athletics at this.
All right, let's do it.
But he will also use an advantage because, yeah. Give me a total of 20, or perhaps
dirty
a dirty 20, as some people would say.
Very nice. Yeah, these creatures are lunging for you, and you some of them you don't even see coming, but you react enough where you're able to blast them with Eldritch Blast and char their faces as they drop to the ground, and then you look back and see that they're getting up from that, and they continue to chase you, but you're easily able to run past them. Even some of them that are in your path, that are looking to like block you, you just run right past them. Maybe give them like the Heisman, or like jostle them out of the way, or like slide down on a knee and go under them and keep running, and you also make it. As you do, you look down at some of these bodies that are strewn about, and you see that they're also wearing like these violet and red colored robes that are tattered and worn and bloodied.
Suck it, Scarlet Brotherhood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're dead.
Feyre, why don't you go next? That's 3 successes.
Feyre is, as she's running, it almost looks like she is doing some kind of capoeira dance, as she gracefully like parkours off of objects and dodges out of the way, running after the group. I would like to use acrobatics.
All right.
And I'll use an advantage, because why not?
Agreed.
24.
Ooh. Very nice. That's another success. Similar to the others, you're able to dodge out of the way of some of these things that are coming at you. You might even have an opportunity to like punch one as it kind of comes up to you. And you're just like, hell no. Boom. And you keep running. Yeah. Pop. Probably a pop situation even, as you also make it to the stairs, breathing heavy, stepping your feet onto this hard stone and kind of turning back, and you can see more and more of these creatures like spilling out from the jungle around you. It's like, where did all these strange vampire creatures come from? But they are spewing into this area. I kind of envision it sort of like World War Z in essence. Like they're just kind of like spilling into this area.
Zombies.
Yeah. Byron, you're the last one running. What do you got for us, buddy?
All right. So, I'm kind of imagining, I don't know if this is going to work or not, but Byron's going to be running and watching as his friends, are pretty acrobatic and jumping around, and he's going to be using his sleight of hand to swimmer move, swish, redirect people who are getting up to him.
Ooh.
You're gonna go by at me, grabbing hands and just letting them slide past them. Grabbing low hanging tree branches and monkey barring himself across.
That sounds pretty rad. Yeah, let's get a roll. What are you gonna roll with? Acrobatics?
I was hoping sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand. All right. Yeah, I like it. You're like,
and I'm gonna burn an advantage.
Nice.
Good, you did.
Oh,
Well, that was the second
23.
roll.
How many?
I got a 23.
Okay. That's funny. I see a 1 on my screen. And
Yeah, I know. I do too.
Mm-hmm.
I got nervous. All right. Yeah, you kind of do the thing where it's like, right here. And then you're like, nope. And you like dip out of the way, jumping up onto, this time you actually pull it off. As you're running, you jump up and there's a vine hanging and you like Tarzan it across a little area where there's a bunch of these things like clawing up at you. And you land on the ground and make the final dash to the stone staircase. You guys are standing now, watching, as I said, as you look back. Farah's kind of looking back. You all turn to join her, and you can see they're just spilling into the space. You're at like the first stair, looking up about 50 feet to the top of this thing. What would you like to do? You have succeeded in your skill check.
Is there
Hurry.
a door or something where?
It's up. Like, we remember where the light was shining, right?
Yeah. Did you grab Byron grabbed the
Approximate.
equipment, right?
Oh,
Off
yeah.
of the,
I did.
yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was, so when you looked at it, Byron would probably be the one who saw it the best. It was basically up at the tip of this stone structure. So at the very apex of it is where it was hitting. It's hard to tell beyond that because it's dark, but that's what you saw. It's like at the top.
Let's get to the top.
Climb.
You don't have to ask me twice. I'm out of here. Get all the undead.
we climb?
Oh, God.
All right, you guys start running up the stone staircase and get to the top. And as you get to the top, it's you're breathing heavy at this point. You take a moment to look around. You look back down, and you can see that all of these creatures have gotten to the lower stair and have stopped. You look about, and you can see that there are more coming in, and they're all sort of like holding at the edge of the ziggurat.
That's not good. Does anyone else see this?
Snarling, growling at you.
Why?
Climbing. They
Why are
stopped.
they doing that?
Because there's something worse at the top, Theo says as he continues to run to the top.
Do you think there's something worse inside this ziggurat?
Absolutely!
You guys get to the top, you look back, you see what's happening, then you get into the area. I'm going to bring up a map. As you step forward, you can see an altar. Standing at the front of this altar is this statue of a bat-like creature. You can only imagine it's some sort of Olman god that is atop. It is worn, weathered. There are vines growing atop it. There is strangely enough, a green lantern. Not the Green Lantern, because that would be copyright infringement. A green
And I was about to get
glowing.
excited about it. I'm a big Green Lantern fan.
That's a sweet magic item.
Yep.
It's already like lit.
It's already lit and it's giving off a green glow. You can see that there is sort of like this display behind the winged statue of carvings of Olman origin. And there is something behind the creature as well. But that's not what is the most troubling. As you turn to one side, you see these creatures emerge. Let me bring you to the map.
A map.
Yep. You see these strange multi-armed creatures. And you can see that there are vampire spawn completely surrounding the ziggurat. These three creatures, they start coming at you, and they're on their hind legs, but you can see that they have multiple arms as they come at you. This is something that you have never seen before anywhere else, and I need everybody to roll initiative.
I was right.
You're always right, Michael.
That's never good.
Let's see. I needed an initiative too. I
Oh,
should-
yeah.
I didn't click my token first. I'm sorry. It's a
That's
20.
okay. That's okay. Hey, Wiley Hobbit's here. Thanks for being here, Scott. Thanks for the resub. Sorry, what did you get, Farah?
20.
Okay. Farah. Oh my. 20. All right. Theo, what did you get?
12.
Okay. Runar?
26.
Okay. Byron?
21.
Okay. I should have cleared out the old ones ahead of time. And Farah, I'm sorry, you had a 20?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so...
I think you cleared me out, but that was my new one.
Okay, I got you on mine as a 26.
Oh, I don't see it on mine.
Go ahead and give us another roll, and then I'll update it. All right,
okay.
so let's see. Farah's up there at the top. All right, you had a 23?
26.
26. Numbers are hard to remember. All right, so...
Numbers are hard.
They are. Runar, there's a lot of numbers floating around. You are at the top of the order. I can paint the picture for you. There's all these vampire spawn that have surrounded the ziggurat. They are holding at the stairs, and they are kind of like clawing in some cases at the rock and looking up at you, but they have not ventured onto the ziggurat. There are these 3 strange-looking creatures. Let me see if I have... Oh, yeah, I have that. Here, I'll show you what it looks like. Doop. Show to the players.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, of course. The infamous blue beetle vampire.
Yep. The blue mangler, we like to call him back home.
That is not natural.
No, it is not.
Nope, that's not good. Hey, Bleak Season, thanks for being here. A couple of advantages for everybody. So make sure you jot those down. We appreciate you. Great to see you here. So, you've got the mangler situation. Hey, thanks, Techie Woman, for gift subs. You guys are awesome. We have we've hit a hype train. I don't really remember what that means, but I know it's cool.
Did we all just get 2 more advantages from Bleak
Yep,
Season?
because we got...
Vamp? Okay.
Yeah, and Vamp, yep.
Nice. Whoa.
Holy
Thanks,
Toledo.
everybody.
Great job, guys. All right, Runar, what would you like to do, my friend?
Quick question. Is this a wall? Can I see behind there? Can I see these
There
guys?
is a low wall. You can see them because they are quite large.
Well, Runar has his bow out, so he's just going to start unloading on these guys. I'm going to go for this guy first. Character sheet. Character sheet, where are you? There we go. Hold on.
You don't need that.
Well, once we switch to the map, it like disappeared. Here we go. Longbow. You know what? I'm going to use an advantage and make this a sharpshooter shot.
Nice.
A sharpshooter shot.
Sharpshooter.
For sure.
Sharpshooter.
And you're going after this guy here?
Yeah, the one closer to me.
Okay.
I took that. Oh, here we go. Sorry. Lots of things.
No worries.
What was that?
2 natural ones.
2 natural ones.
Oh, no!
Ooh, VTT
Uh-oh.
is cruel.
Uh-oh.
Well,
So
I'll use my
BT.
extra
That
attack.
can't be good. That can't be good.
Extra attack. I'm not gonna use an advantage.
Do it! Oh my
Jeez.
god. Oh my god. Was that 3 natural ones in a row?
What? The fuck?
That does not seem
I
fair.
tell you what, I do think you might be entitled to compensation
I'm gonna
for roll
change the
20
color
for
of my
emotional
dice.
damage.
That's messed up.
Change the color. Runar, as you launch these 2 arrows in rapid succession, your heart is pounding, you're shaking. You've never seen, even in your battles that you've had in military settings, you've not seen foes of this nature before, and you're a little shooken up. That is your turn. That brings us to Byron at 21. Unless you want to move, Runar. Do you want to move at all? You definitely have a movement.
Yeah, I'm gonna move up 1, 2.
Thank you, guys.
3,
Thanks everybody for the
4,
support.
5. That might be right here.
Thank you, Techie Woman, for doling out some gift subs. Folks, if you want to support the stream, please consider subbing or following. We appreciate you. All right, so you move forward. Byron, what would you like to do?
All right, I'm gonna roll forward, roll past Runar, go right up to this one, in the northern area, with my dagger out, shield out. You know, do a little trick with the shield and boom, followed up with a quick stab to the face, right after whispering something to my dagger, making, concussive energy envelope it. So that's where I'm going to go. That's where I'm going to stab.
Okay.
I'm going to burn an advantage too. Oh, it rolled automatically. I'm going to roll again anyways.
Yeah. Just roll your d20 again. That's a lot of dice. Gotta love the rogue.
Bloody rogues.
The rogue of the group.
And in our own way, aren't we all rogues?
I'd go with the first one.
Why does it say... Why does it only show damage, though?
Well. Oh yeah, where's your attack roll?
Yeah.
You did 21 sneak damage. Yeah, you didn't actually roll to hit, so give me one more.
Yeah,
You used an
weird.
advantage, so go ahead and roll one more d20.
Is the VTT dying?
Well, it gave me 3
not
ones in a
looking
row,
good.
so
Yeah.
I would say
So I got a 13 and
Oof.
an 11.
it's fucked up.
Yep. So both of those are not good. The 13 misses as you reach out to stab this thing, and it just kind of like sneaks out of the way a little bit.
All right, bonus action. I'm going to disengage.
Bonus action, soil trousers.
Everybody's
All right.
favorite action.
Yeah. That brings us
I'll
to
go
Farah. Farah, you're watching as your companions are like fumbling, missing, and these things are getting ready to pounce. What would you like to do?
I would like to cast Circle of Power.
Nice.
And turn
if you-
undead.
So divine energy begins to radiate from me, and you can see it spreads out into a 30-foot radius that you can see. And all of you suddenly feel a little bit better as you're coated in this divine energy, and you now, for the duration, have advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects. And additionally, when an affected creature succeeds on a saving throw made against a spell or magical effect that allows it to make a saving throw to take only half damage, it instead takes no damage. And then I'm going
Now we're
to
all rogues.
Yeah. That's
draw
beautiful.
my bow
Yes.
and move up 1, 2, and try to shoot. You know what? I'll shoot this guy over here. If possible.
That guy, that fucking guy.
That fucking guy.
Okay.
27 to hit.
That's gonna hit.
9.
Which one? Sorry, I missed your ping.
The one
Got it.
that's straight shot.
All right. For 9 damage. All right. It takes an arrow into the chest as it kind of it's rearing up on its hind legs. All right. And that brings us to the Manglers. They got a lot of speed. Yes, they do. The one that you just hit is going to move forward. Gets right here, and it's going to take an attack at Runar. I'm going to
Get
go
out
ahead
of
and
here.
use an advantage. Thank you to the chat for providing some extra oomph. Let's see. So that'll be a claw attack. .23 to hit you, Runar, for
Yep.
6 slashing, and somehow you feel this searing pain in your psyche as you take 7 psychic damage as well. It is going to make a second attack on you. I will use another advantage. Another claw attack. A 14? I don't think 14 hits.
Misses.
Yep.
No.
All right. Burn my advantage. This guy's going to move in. You are at the front of the pack, Runar, unfortunately. This guy is going to use a feature called Flurry of Claws.
Oh shit, he's got levels in Monk.
Yeah. Runar, give me a D6 roll, please. Okay, thank you. It gets to make 6 claw attacks on you.
Jesus.
I'm not going to make any of them with advantage, though. The first one is a natural 1. Second one is a 22 for 11 slashing, 4 psychic. The third...
Wait, can we just total up the damage at the end?
Sure. Third is going to hit with a 24. Fourth, 19. Does a 19 hit you?
Yeah, it does.
You don't have your shield out. And the... Let's see, the fifth. 15 is going to miss.
That misses, yeah.
And then the last one is a 14, so the last 2 miss. So only the second and third hit. So you're going to take 21 slashing and 11 psychic damage.
So it's a total of 32.
Yeah. Whatever the math adds up to. And then this guy kind of leaps over this half wall, 5, 10, 15, 20, comes in at Byron. Byron, give me a D6 roll. Please. Okay, thank you.
We got a 5.
All right, so it's going to make a flurry of claw attacks at you. Number 1. 14? That misses, right?
Yep.
9's going to miss. 18?
Hits.
Okay. 10's going to miss. Natural 1 is going to miss. And a 10 is going to miss. I think it only hit you that one time.
Whoa.
So you take 6 slashing and 11 psychic damage. That is their turn. Brings us to Theo.
All right. Theo is fucking done with subtle. So for his bonus action, he will cast a spell. The somatic component of which is going to be he throws his sword towards the heavens, point up, very, very He-Man style. The somatic component is he will bellow a war cry, perhaps that of an ancient order of knights, that it's something like, "For the kingdom!" And as he does, blue light just washes out around him, perhaps in, say, a 10 to 15 foot radius. And a figure, a host perhaps, of other knights seem to rally and rise around him as he casts Spirit Shroud, which I will now link.
Hell yeah.
Whoa.
Necromancy!
At which point he will move 25 feet to get behind this mangler that is threatening Runar, and we will proceed to, as the kids say, whoop the fuck up on him.
I love that.
Yes.
What is it's a 10-foot radius?
It's a 10-foot radius. Everything within 10 feet takes 2 d8 extra damage from Theo, and their movement is reduced by 10.
And is that when you hit them?
That is when I hit them.
Okay, got it.
So it augments any of my hits if they're close to me and
I love
slows
it.
them down.
That's cool. And it's a bonus
It's not bad.
action, so let's see what your action holds.
It's going to be Snickery Snack with an enormous sword.
I've missed those Snickery snacks.
Who doesn't love that? Oh, I rolled a 19 naturally, not a 20. So close. But does a 29 hit?
Yes, it does, my friend.
Then I do 24 points of damage, 10 of it's radiant.
Okay, let me just check and see.
Maybe relevant. I don't know these things.
Yep. No, I like it when you do call it out. Okay.
And assuming it's still standing,
It is. Yep.
here comes the second attack. With advantage again.
Whoa.
Does a 24
Nice.
hit?
Yeah.
Only 22 points of damage, 8 of
That's it?
which is radiant. That's it. I'm sorry. I could have done more, and I'm disappointed in myself.
Kalistani glows and just you can feel it vibrating in your hands. You use it
Vibing,
two-handed,
yeah.
right?
Oh yeah, it's a great
Yeah.
sword at this point. It is
You
big and
cut
mean.
through it, searing right through it with the energy of the blade, and then coming around and bringing it back through, and pieces of its like carapace. It's got like this chitin carapace armor on it. Pieces of it are being torn apart and falling off, and you can see how they attach to the body of this thing. It's kind of like sticky as they fall off. It kind of like leaves these long strings of like mucus. Anything else from Theo? That's pretty rad.
That's enough. We're good. That's what I got.
All right, and that one has reduces its speed by 10 feet, right?
Correct.
Okay, let me just make a little.
If it starts its turn within, yes.
We'll do that. Okay. Runar, back at the top of the order. You just took
All
some
right.
massive blasts in that
Yeah.
last round. What are you gonna do?
I will drop my bow and pull out my scimitar and attack this one between myself and Theo
Got it.
with advantage.
Yep. Because it is flanked.
$27 to hit
That will definitely hit.
That'll do.
for 11 slashing.
Okay.
It
It is looking very bad as you're hacking through it. You and your partner, Theo, are taking this thing down.
All right, extra attack. Same guy. Oh,
Ooh.
12.
It
Does
kind
that
of
hit? I'm
bashes your second sword swing out of the air with one of its many arms.
All right, that's it.
Okay. Brings us to Byron. This thing's kind of
Alright.
coming at you.
You know, I'm gonna let it as it's coming at me. You know, I'm gonna wait for it to move in, and just give it a little. You know, oh, I see you. Stab it in the neck, where I think its neck would be.
God, these things are ugly beasts.
I will burn another advantage.
That's what we're fighting, folks. The manglers.
A 26 to hit.
Oh yeah. Yeah. 26 is definitely gonna hit.
For 28 damage.
Oh, ouch.
9 of that magical.
Yeah.
Bonus action. I will. Well, actually, I don't even need the bonus action. I'm just gonna move away.
It cannot take a swing at you because of some funky
Because of Sentinel.
rogue thing. Okay.
Or no, not Sentinel.
Not Sentinel.
No, it's
It
the
was-
other one. Fancy footwork.
Yep. Swashbuckler bullshit.
Yep, fancy footwork.
All right, you cannot be in the same space as one of your companions, unfortunately. You're going to have to move. There you go. Oh, sorry. I thought you were under Farah for some reason. All right.
No, you
so
can be
all-
back where you. You can be
Um,
back where you were.
yeah, you can be back where you were actually, and you
Actually,
can't
no,
move.
I like
you cannot
where I was.
move. You can't move through an enemy.
Yeah.
So you'd be blocked there, but you could go around it.
Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna
Okay.
go down through Farah, down around Theo, and back up.
Got it. Okay, Farah, you watch as your companions are repositioning themselves strategically, it would seem.
Oh man, that was brutal. I am going to cast Cure Wounds on Deg.
Nice.
Sweet.
At level 2. Okay. Please take 16 points of healing.
Wow.
Gladly. Thank you.
And then I am going to, in fact, even like give him a pat on the shoulder and say, like, you got this one. And
You got this, buddy.
take a bardic inspiration.
Aw. You can do
As a
it!
bonus action.
I love it.
And then
All
I'm
right.
gonna take one step forward so we can have like a little circle around this one dude.
A circle of murder.
Right.
Yep. Okay, that brings us to the critters. So this guy here is going to move in.
They're all crit roll fans? Sweet.
They are critters, yeah. That's what they were doing before you guys got there. They were catching up on their...
That's why
They're
they're so
Thursday nights.
angry.
We
That
interrupt
guy's
their
gonna
broadcast.
move there. This guy's gonna move here. So we'll start with the one that's gonna attack Feyre. Feyre, give me a D6 roll, please.
Man.
Which one's attacking Feyre?
This guy right here.
Okay.
Okay. D6.
Okay. All right. So it is going to make a flurry of claw attacks on you. Let me do this. All right. So the first one is an 18.
That hits.
The 26 will hit.
Mm-hmm.
That 23 is going to hit. Ouch.
Out.
A natural 1 is going to miss.
Yep.
An 11. That's going to miss, right?
Yes, that'll miss. How that you said he rolled 3.
And an 11.
I think it's 3
So
plus
it-
1 or something.
It just hits. Actually, it just from behind the scenes, it's a recharge feature on that they have. So it's not guaranteed
Okay.
that they'll get to use it multiple rounds. But the first 3 did hit you. So half of the 6. This is a lot of damage. 32 slashing damage
Ooh.
Yikes.
and 19 psychic damage.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Yeah, that guy's.
Is that a magical spell or effect?
It's not.
The psychic
It is.
damage?
No. Nope.
Just checking.
Um.
And then I should probably roll because my circle of power is a con.
Oh, yep. Yep. Please
Okay.
do. That is. You have to roll. What was the
Is it
total
even
damage on that?
Half of that.
You took. Yeah. You have to roll half of that with a con save. So you basically have to roll a natural 20. If you roll
I'll
a
do it
natural,
with advantage.
if you do it with advantage. If you roll a natural 20, we'll say you're good.
Oh, so close.
Oh,
so
that was close.
19,
So-
but not a 20. Okay.
Your circle of power, unfortunately, fades. So you guys lose. You lose the temporary hit points. I'm guessing. Or no, that was from the Mantle of
Alright.
Inspiration.
I already
Yeah.
lost mine anyway.
Yeah, that's something else.
It was the magical resistance thing.
Correct.
Yeah. All right, Runar. This guy to your north is going to attack you with advantage. He's going to make 2 claw attacks. .26. That's a 19. I almost got a natural 20.
Yeah, that hits.
The 9 is not going to hit you though. So
No.
a total of 5 slashing and 6 psychic on that attack. And then the one in the middle is in its
Okay.
last death throes. It's just going to reach out and try to attack Theo. Does your ability have any impact on its attacking you?
Negative.
Okay.
It attack it if it is undead apparition, fey or anything like that. It does have disadvantage though.
It's an aberration, so it will have disadvantage on you. But I'm going to burn an advantage. I want to burn 2 advantages here. Because the chat keeps giving them to me. So it'll just be 2 straight rolls. First one. 25 to hit.
Totally misses.
Ooh, actually.
Second one's an
in response to
11.
that-
The 11 misses. So you will take 10 slashing and 4 psychic. Go ahead, Byron.
In response to that thing attacking my dear friend, I'm going to stab it
Yeah.
with advantage.
Ooh. 23 will hit.
No,
Roll me
that was
some of
my concentrate. That was my concentration check.
Oh,
for my
sorry.
spell.
Yeah, that works. You
Byron will
maintain it
roll much higher than that.
A
quite a
27
bit.
to hit.
Yeah.
Nice.
What'd I
Tell
tell ya?
An additional 22 damage.
All right. Tell me how you kill this thing, Byron.
So this thing, as it's swinging out at Theo, the first one hitting, as it's swinging its second attack, I'm gonna just step in between the attack, swing my dagger, remove the attacking limb, and plunge it down into the heart of this beast.
Ooh, nice flavor. Yeah, you drop it to the ground. It just kind of like the rest of its arms are kind of like shaking, and while it's on its back, kind of like a cockroach dying. If you had a big boot, you'd probably stomp on it. It'd be messy though.
Dr.
That
McKilligoody has
is-
big boots.
He has big boots to fill. All right, that brings us to Theo.
Theo's gonna, let's see here. 5, 10, 20, 25, 30. I can do this. Theo is going to just run around in a mad circle to get to the far side of this whole combat. And he does not trust the awful thing that is threatening Feyre on account of her lack of armor. So he is going to try and beat the snot out of it with a sword. I guess they technically call that cutting and killing, but we'll see how this goes.
There's a lot of
never know
snot
what
to go around. There's plenty of snot. Fairy, you have armor, don't you?
I do.
Oh, okay.
I have.
I got
I
nervous
have
there.
that sparkly grave ward armor.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It doesn't matter. Theo's concerned. Plus, you took hits. Plus, I rolled a 21 to hit, and that's the important part.
That
Does
does
that hit?
That does hit.
That's
I think
15.
the deceiving thing about Farah's armor is that it's so clean. She keeps it so impeccably clean that it almost just looks like a really nice outfit.
And it might be.
Fair.
We don't know. The point
Yeah.
is that asshole took 25 points of damage.
That asshole is hurting.
Get stuffed.
Yeah.
And here comes the second swipe because I got 2 and I don't like him. He's mean. Only a 24 to hit.
We
and
both
more
know that's gonna
importantly-
hit.
Only 19 points of damage. I'm
How do
running out
you
of
kill
steam,
this
apparently.
guy?
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, on that case, let's, the first hit's just a big, swinging over the shoulder, arcing cut. And then I think it's going to come around and just end up re-angling itself and come into a thrust that just kind of transfixes it. The point of the blade possibly getting a little closer to Feyre than she's comfortable with. And just run it through and then kind of just toss it off to one side down the stairs.
Nice.
It rolls down the stairs and lands in front of the vampire spawn. They're like, and they start tearing at it and throwing bits of it out, and the other spawn behind them grab it and start tearing at it.
I have regrets about this. That's the end of my turn.
Runar, top of the order.
All right. I'm going to pull my other sword, move up here, and attack that guy between Theo and I
Smart.
with advantage. Here we go. $28 to hit.
That'll do.
That
for
will
11
hit.
slashing.
Ooh, nice.
17 to hit.
Huzzah. 17 will also hit.
Oh, right. That's for 7 slashing.
Okay. This guy's looking pretty banged up. Still has
okay,
6
I got
arms,
my
though.
Extra attack. Here we go. $28 to hit for another 11 slashing.
Yep, that'll hit. 'Cause this is Thriller.
That's it.
All right. Brings us to Byron.
Byron's gonna look over at the vampires down the stairs, see him dance a Thriller, panic for a second, look over at Theo like, You just fed them? Oh man.
Not on
Necromancers
purpose.
You can't trust them. I'm gonna pop over to this creature that Runar's been hit. Whisper to my dagger some sweet nothings and end its life in a peaceful manner.
A peacefully violent manner.
Neat.
I'm gonna go ahead and burn another advantage.
Nice. Boom. Let's see it.
So that's gonna
Ooh,
be a
yeah.
21 to hit
Yep.
for 27 damage plus an additional 1d8.
All right. Ooh,
An
wow.
additional 7 damage, so a total of 33 damage, 13 of it magical.
It had exactly 33 hit points left, so it drops to the ground. How do you kill this thing?
Okay, so after whispering to my dagger and the concussive energy entering the blade, dancing around it, a little bit of panic, a little bit of hoo-ha, I'm gonna reach out, grab one of its many arms, kind of pull it in, and just drive the dagger across it. Wherever the blade hits, it's gonna erupt like a subwoofer, blasting parts of it to pieces, shooting out past my dagger, covering me in guts.
It's like that, what is that, hemolymph that bugs have, right? Just this kind of yellowish, blood-like substance.
Got my mouth.
What do you have on
Inside.
what do you have for clothing?
So I got my cloak. I got my hand-patched leather armor.
Is any of that magical? Your cloak's magical, right?
My cloak's magical, yep.
How's your armor?
My armor's not magical.
You get some of it on your armor and you can hear it go as it's almost like an
shoot.
acid and it's starting to burn through a little bit. It's not going to destroy your armor, but it definitely leaves a mark on it. As you guys have killed these 3 manglers atop the ziggurat, we are out of initiative for the moment. I'm going to clear the initiative tracker. However, you notice now that with these 3 creatures gone, the horde of creatures below you begins to make their way up.
I'm gonna scoop up my bow. Come on, to the top.
Inside.
All right, let's go. And I am actually going to, again, bonus action cast Mantle of Majesty or Mantle of Inspiration because I can do it more than once. And we are all going to get 11 temporary hit points and can
Nice.
move our full movement right now.
Whoa. Nice.
Is that something you can do, like the number of
we
like
get
whatever your
extra movement
proficiency
with that, though,
bonuses
right?
or something like that?
I can do it as many times as I have Bardic Inspiration.
Nice. And it doesn't use Bardic Inspiration to use it?
It does.
Oh, it does. Okay, got
So
it.
every time I use that, it's
That's
a
sweet.
form of Bardic Inspiration. And then I get all my Bardic Inspirations back if I short rest.
Which is so nice.
Nice.
You
If we have a time to
see
do
as
that.
these things are creeping up on you. You guys are making your way towards the altar. What are you doing as you reach the altar? You get a boost of movement from Feyre. What do you do?
Just
Make him
I'm
away.
looking around for the entrance to this place.
Give me a quick perception check as you race up to this place. You see this giant bat-like sculpture with bejeweled, like some sort of a dark ruby almost in the eyes, and it just
24.
glitters. A 24. You see
Yeah.
behind it that there is some sort of an altar that has been pulled away. In fact, there are some tools, there are some archaeological implements up here, tarps and things that aren't on the map proper. But you do see that there is a spot where this altar has been pulled away to reveal, as your device revealed, the entrance to some sort of a secret stairway that goes down.
Is that green lantern like a handheld lantern?
It is. It's like a small handheld lantern that just happens to be there.
I'm gonna grab it.
Okay. Yeah, you grab the lantern as you make your way to the stairs. Runar, you're the first one to get there. You look down. It is dark. Do you throw your helmet on?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw my helmet on. And I'm gonna kind of position myself on the stairs here so people can run by me, with the idea that I'm gonna try to pull this thing shut behind us.
These things are moving in, you guys. What are the rest of you
Get
doing?
in. Here, get in.
If we get yelled at, there's stairs back there. I'm gonna run down the stairs. Theo will lead on account of magic sword.
It's
Yep,
over
I'm
here.
running.
And still
Oh, we just lost your audio, Michael.
it's because I clicked off the window. As he technically still has Spirit Shroud active, so any of the vampire spawn that got near him had slowed down a little bit.
Okay.
And
Kind of
since he
fends
still
him
has
off a
that-
little bit.
Yeah, he's now gonna mad dash for the stairs and just descend down them at breakneck speed. Hope it's not trapped.
All right.
Yeah,
You guys
I'll go
follow?
first with the lantern, or like push past Deg with the green lantern down the stairs.
The Green Lantern is happy to accompany you down the stairs. My friends, you have made it into this strange temple. It is dark, although you have the aid of sight through various means. Some of you with dark vision, others with fish helmets, because why not? And then you have this green lantern as well. It is 100% dark. You descend this narrow stone stairway into this 5-foot wide passage. Let me ask you this, and maybe you said this and I just missed it. Do you try to pull? Are you going to try to cover it up and like
Yeah,
pull
Runar
it?
was
Because
gonna try
they're
to
like,
pull it shut.
you just hear.
Byron,
As
help me shut it. And I'm gonna
Give
try to.
me a,
Byron was the last one in, right? So
Yep.
I was.
Did you
What
use
are
the
Runar was.
inspiration?
Oh, not yet.
So what are your strength ability scores? Not the bonus, just the ability scores total.
16 for strength.
And Byron?
Mine's 15.
Okay.
I
Yep,
didn't know- I didn't
that's
know it was
enough.
that
You guys are able to pull it. All I need you to do is just to kind of work out how quickly you're able to do it. Give me, whoever wants to make it, an athletics check with advantage, because you're both working on it. And then if you want to use your bardic inspiration, you can use that too, depending on what you roll. The bardic inspiration lasts for what, 10 minutes before it's gone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Byron, you want me to roll?
I
I'll
would,
roll.
but I would also like to hand you one of the mini pry bars in my inventory.
The athletics, you said, Dave?
Yep.
And the inspiration is a D10?
D10.
Okay.
Hello, Gummy Slung. Welcome. First time viewer, first time chatter.
22 plus 7 for a total 29.
All right. Yeah. You and Byron are pull this up. Just as you look up into the sort of like the moonlight, the shrouded moonlight, you can just make out these creatures, and like some of their hands come into the gap as you're pulling it. These clawed, gnarly hands with broken nails, and they're like flesh covered and bony, and they're clawing, trying to reach down at you as you, and you actually pull one close, and the arm is just like, and then it just drops, like it just pulled the rest of its arm away, and the forearm drops into the stairway with you. It is dead quiet.
That
It
was
seemed-
super gross.
Dark.
What can we see around us, those of us who have dark vision?
And lit by the green lantern.
You see that you are in a very dry and dusty stairway. Some of the stone walls in this narrow, remember it's like 5 feet wide. So you guys are kind of like tucked in there together right at the entrance as they pulled it together, as they pulled the portal closed. You don't see much. Stone walls that are kind of broken in some places and crumbling. You haven't moved beyond just like the immediate stairway. The four of you are kind of packed in there. I would say for the moment, you have an opportunity here to take a breather.
All right. I could use a short rest.
I could too.
We could all use a short rest. Come on, my friend. He says as the spirits just kind of dissipate off into the darkness.
A couple things immediately kind of come to realization. There, as you kind of sit on the stone stairs, your movement and your voices echo and carry pretty well. So you probably, if there's anything down here, you might want to, kind of keep it low so that you keep yourself safe for the moment. If you do want to try to get a short rest, we can definitely try for that. You have an opportunity to talk to each other here, to catch your breath, to get your bearings. But so far, you're kind of just hidden behind this corner in the this narrow corridor. If you were to go further in, you'll then get into a different area of this temple. So.
Nope, just staying here, settling quietly.
Yeah,
We're going to get out of this, right?
that's the idea. We gotta be careful, though.
Have you ever seen so many creatures?
No. That, we may need to look for an alternate exit once we figure out what is going on here.
Or maybe they'll calm down after a while or something. I don't know.
Well, they may get bored, and that may be enough to sneak out. Although, Theo just kind of thinks, I was working on teleportation magics. Depending on how this all ends up, I may be able to take us somewhere directly from here. Or that may be a risk.
Could you take us to Monmerg?
I don't have any sigils for Monmerg. If I did, possibly.
Isn't your family in Monmerg? Aren't you trying to avoid them?
Well, before we went into that city, I had a god show up in front of me and tell me I should go home soon. But now it's been a year, and I haven't even spoken to my brother, and I don't know what's happening to them.
Well, the important thing about gods is funny things like time always don't make sense to them. So they may have known that you were going to be taking a Fae-inspired side trip.
Do you think so?
Gods are inscrutable. I know very little about them other than not to make them angry.
Would you, if we get out of this, would you all do me the favor of coming with me?
I will need to head north after this, and barring magical transit, that sea route leads through Monmerg, because you sure as shit don't want to go the other way right now.
We'll go to Monmerg, sure.
About that.
You can just wear your disguise, Byron.
Oh man, I don't know.
We're all going to have to be disguised. We're technically still wanted as far as we know.
We are.
I will
think you
put
guys are
my
wanted
hand
like I'm wanted
on
there.
Byron's arm and say, I need your help.
I don't think I'd be any help. I think I would probably end up getting you killed.
He'll go. Don't worry about it. He'll go.
Byron, you have gotten less people killed in this party than I have, so I think you're actually batting much higher.
Yeah, but you're not allowed in like half the cities we've been to because of me.
Well, yes, but you haven't gotten people killed.
That's
I
because
can
we've
handle a
run
little
away.
bit of exile. That's fine.
We fled.
I think if we enter the city the right way, don't pull up in the harbor with the boat and they know who we are,
Well,
the crew and everything.
To be fair, we don't know if we'll be able to get the boat back. It's been a year. We don't know where they've been.
Yeah, it might take us a while to get to Monmerg.
Actually, now that I think about it, it's been over a year. Nobody's gonna remember Lord William Cyrus Ray.
I don't even know who he was.
It's an
Yeah,
idiot.
exactly.
He was a chump.
Yeah, why am I worrying
So
about
how important could he have been?
You're right. He was summoning demons. Let's be honest. He wasn't important.
Technically,
Right,
he was
wasn't
summoning
right
devils. Demons are a very
They were gonna
different chronology.
sacrifice a guy, all right?
Well, they had probably sacrificed many guys. Cults like that don't just get that big and then start sacrificing. They've been sacrificing the whole time. Probably poor people from the slums.
I'm starting to get this feeling that, maybe something bad could have happened to my brother or my mother. I left because I thought that it would help that I was causing a problem by even being there, as
What
my
kind of-
stepfather always, I just made him angry. Just my presence made him angry. My brother Cricket is his son, but I am the child from my mother's previous marriage, and he hated my father. I thought that he would stop bullying my little brother if I left, but after speaking with a god, I don't think that happened.
Or something else entirely may have happened. It's, to be fair, things can happen that may not have been your fault either way. However, if a god has said maybe go check on them, it's time to go check on them. And not to make you worry more, but gods don't tell you to go check on your family because there's bullying. I think something weirder may have happened, which is good because we are very well equipped to handle weird. We are probably 4 of the most experienced people in the continent with dealing with weird bullshit.
Well, that does make me feel a little better.
And I have accidentally done good, but I'll take it.
Thank you. And we'll get through this.
Totally. And if Cricket needs a new place to live, I have probably still 6 or 7 siblings that are living in Kiel, and we can set them up to hang out with. Well, no, most of them are humans now, except for a couple of them. I think they may still be in town. I don't know. A couple of them had moved off and gotten married when they were older, and they were from, my father, not my stepfather. Several of the other ones are with my step. I have a complicated family. There's a lot of them.
It's kind of a joy to have many siblings.
Oh no, it's fucking awful. We were shits to each other. It was the worst.
I don't know what I would have done without Cricket. I guess
You
everybody
probably would
has
have turned out
complicated.
more like me.
Maybe.
Again, and to keep everything in perspective with my family, my father was a literal sociopath who saw having children as the quickest way to work his way up in the hierarchy of his knightly order.
Oh wow, that's terrible.
Quite literally. I was the first one who had promised, so I was being trained to be his new squire, because I was half elves or elf enough for their laws. Then my younger sister was better at it, so she got trained, and then they disappeared in the night, never to be heard from again so far. So this is why I don't like elves.
I wish my father hadn't died. But I can understand you feeling disappointed that one of your siblings was chosen over you.
That part I'm over. I'm mostly just very, very tired of that asshole being alive. So if we find ourselves in a situation where we could trade our father's lives somehow using complex magic, I will make that happen. Absolutely. Because your father sounds way better, for the record.
Suddenly our new campaign is the parent swap, the parent trap.
With enough wish spells, you can do anything.
Well said.
I wonder what it would have been like to be wanted as a child. It sounds, though brief, pretty magical.
It's complicated because, as I found out after the fact, I was only wanted in a certain way. And looking back, it wasn't really like being wanted as a son. It's more like being a well-trained pet. There was never any affection. He did not like me or any of his other children.
Sounds like what it was like for Cricket.
It is possible. In which
Getting
case,
to be trained to be a lord. Never being good enough, always being judged, always being compared to me.
Right up until that very last part, you had me, and that was all accurate. I never had to worry about living up to you specifically. And by the time my
well,
younger
now
sister,
you do, but
well, yes,
just-
and I would be, you know, if we're being honest, given here we are in the dark in a dungeon, I have, of course, had to adjust my worldview as we came in here and are better at both magic and dealing with other people than I was, which was previously my role in the party. But I've learned to work past that and come up with other solutions, mostly killing things.
I think you're pretty talented, as is. I
You're
nearly
just saying
died
that-
back there.
One, you're just saying that because I'm pretty. And two, you'll get better. You have a bow. You're very good with that bow, for the record. And it could be worse. We found Byron in a pile of, crab refuse. It was terrifying.
I just look at Byron.
It's not true.
He is right. That is not true.
I found them. They were squandering, trying to find meaning with their lives, and I gave it to them.
No, I was trying to make a living. It's pretty straightforward. And I was working with the captain because he was going to get a ship.
I was hunting the murderer of one of my close associates, who I had never met, but he was an associate still, so that makes him like a brother, which I didn't have any real biological brothers. The family tree's like actually spans many generations, but you have to like put your thumbprint in blood. It's very complicated.
Byron,
The
if
secret
you
society.
want, you can be my brother. I would love to have
Well,
another brother.
You have to go through the rituals, then you have to fill out some paperwork.
He's
And then
trying to
there's
adopt you.
Rituals.
Oh, I can't be adopted. I'm an adult now.
That's not.
Are you?
I mean, you are aware
That's
that there's
the
an
spirit.
there's a number of rituals and societies that in fact have concepts of blood brotherhood or blood sisterhood or blood siblinghood. I technically did that sort of recently. Time is still weird for me, but I'm just saying you could in fact become siblings if you wanted to.
Well, if you need family.
You know, I have Chuck.
I never you do.
I have family. He's my family. Chuck will sit on my shoulder.
He gives you a
Oh,
big
I know,
sloppy
buddy.
kiss on the cheek.
Oh, Chuck, come on.
It is all
God,
excellent options
ugh.
as long as we don't end up all calling Runar daddy, because that would be weird.
No.
We were
That
spending
I-
dead
probably
money
wouldn't be a
back
good
in,
idea.
I have too many fathers
Yeah, you're right.
already.
anyways,
Is there any
um,
way that I could cast Song of Rest without being loud?
okay, so here's before you do this, I'm gonna see you taking your instrument out. Whoa, can we just please? I mean,
Yeah.
as much as I like standing shoulder to shoulder with you guys in this narrow ass hallway, like, can we please find like at least like a 6 foot by 6 foot room or something like that?
There's no guarantee of any safety further than where we are. I am very reluctant to do that. Also, we're like only part way through our short rest, and if we move now, we'll ruin the whole thing.
Okay.
You just hear
I
a
will.
and everybody looks over at Chuck.
Oh no!
Tell
I
that
knew he
monkey
was
to be
gonna
quiet.
do this. Oh god,
What?
it smells so bad.
Prestidigitation, something pleasant. Pine trees, prestidigitation. Lavender, prestidigitation. Vanilla.
I try to jump in with whatever I smell. The good smells, not the bad one.
Whatever you
I
need
think
to do,
if
we
you
can find.
if you were to play a song, it would be you can do it for sure. You can do it, but it will echo through the halls.
Do it.
I'm afraid
Do
to
it.
risk it. I'm afraid to
Do it.
risk
I have
it.
an idea.
What's your
You
idea?
play the song, and while we're all listening, I'll make moaning sounds. So it sounds like just whatever else is down here. So they'll be like, oh, it's not a music, it's some guy shambling around, rotting.
I don't.
Everybody and you all intuitively know that that will not work, except for Byron. He thinks it'll work. He's convinced.
I was be like,
Is that something you can do more than once?
me? Yeah, totally.
No, the song.
Song of Rest.
Byron.
Michael, roll a d20 for me.
I think multiple times. Anytime we short rest.
Please.
I got a 9.
9. Okay.
You know what? I very softly began humming a lullaby. Trying to keep it just loud enough that we can, it can only carry within 5-10 feet.
Very smart move. You're all like right next to each other, so you could it's kind of like well, your faces are like right next to each other as you're having these conversations, and you could easily just kind of hum a very quiet tune that they can all hear. So that, yes, you can do that as your song of rest. Absolutely.
Okay.
Everybody go ahead and roll hit dice that you want to as you come to the end of this short rest. And we are going to take a quick bio break to refill some drinks, and we will be back in 5 minutes, folks. Please remember that we are giving away a couple of things. We're giving away a module from our friends at CZRPG, Aquacadent. It is a 23-page PDF, location, lore, a bunch of encounters, new stat blocks, great artwork, a bunch of battle maps. There's like 25 different versions of these battle maps, a regional map. This was put together by Jeremy Kimberling and our friend Mimic Maps. Awesome stuff from both of them. And Christian and his team at CZRPG are publishing some great stuff. So please, if you would like to be entered to win that, !drawing. And we're also giving away at the end of the stream some Old Goat Beard Company beard oil. So don't forget about that. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes to find out what happens next with the Deg Gang. We'll see you shortly. We have found ourselves, for the moment, safe inside of the lost shrine of Tamoachan, within a ancient Olman city that you have sought to discover for a long time. Runar, Byron, your Well, and to a large extent also Theo, like your connection to Dralian, the efforts that he was making with the Westwind Trading Company to find this place, the investments and the political maneuvering that he was undertaking through the support sometimes of the Seekers of the Arcane, has gotten you here, finally having put the pieces of the map together, discovered the location. You are now inside of the shrine. It is dark. You are somewhat rested after being able to successfully achieve a short rest.
Yay!
It is dark, dusty. The walls around you, as I had said before, are broken and buckled to a large extent. I've put you guys on the map in the order I think that you descended into the shrine for the moment, with Feyre kind of leading, having that green lantern in hand.
I think I would have squished like either to second or third during that song moment.
Sure. So Runar, should we put you in front?
I would
Yeah.
like to have
Something like that.
squished to
Hey,
somewhere
thanks,
near the
Scoozy.
front.
Everybody has an advantage from Scoozy. Thank you so much for that. Great to see you here.
Oh, nice. Oh wait, no, we don't get those.
Oh, we don't?
All for the
Oh, they're
DM.
all for
all
me.
for the
Oh,
DM.
Scoozy.
I
Excuse
see
you.
you.
Excuse
What do you
you.
have, 15
While I
now?
kiss this
Yeah.
guy.
Is that guy on
Um,
Discord? Because we got to kick him out.
Dave has enough. Just throwing it out there.
Does have a lot.
I have double digits. We'll leave it at that.
Oh my god.
While Feyre's sneaking forward,
Thanks,
I would also
Scoozy.
sneak forward. And I would take out Graw's magnifying glass, and I would like to think I spent some of that short rest with the fish helmet to reattune to it. And I would also like to think that any movement forward would be scanned for traps very thoroughly
Okay.
using
So-
the magnifying
Oh,
glass.
there we go. Techie Woman's coming in for the players.
Oh.
So you guys all got
Aw.
one. So put your tokens where you think they would be in the order then, to clarify that while I update.
Can I go second after Byron?
Yeah, you guys can set it up however you'd like.
I'll be in the back if you want. I don't know.
You're,
where
you're the
Theo just went.
noisiest.
No, technically
Oh
that's
my
Theo.
god, what's underneath me?
Is that a body?
You didn't see anything.
Well, I'm gonna, once you
What
guys
is-
are done jostling for
standing
position,
on?
this jostling ends, and I'll tell you a little bit more about what you see. As Byron looks about with the magnifying glass, you see easily detecting tracks in the dust. Below your feet on the stone, you can see that there's dirt and dust that's been kicked aside, rocks that have been pushed aside. Recent, it looks, the tracks. You also see just ahead of you, Byron, almost like underneath you, as it were, a corpse. A corpse that looks
Oh.
similar to those that you'd seen before. I'm going to move your token for a sec.
Have we
Violet
just been
robes.
standing on this guy this whole time.
Well,
And
it was just
singing and
around the
talking.
corner. Yeah, you didn't quite look that well up until this point, but now you see it. It certainly is a corpse. This individual, as you investigate, give me an investigation roll with Graw's magnifying glass.
Does that give him advantage? Or I would like to help him. However, I can't.
That gives him.
What does
advantage
Graz
already,
do
I'm pretty
again?
sure.
Okay.
It doubles my proficiency bonus.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
So it doesn't technically give him advantage, but if you wanted to help him, we'll go ahead and you can roll with advantage as well.
Yeah, I'll help him like kind of partially roll him over so he can get it
So
at
it's
his pockets.
actually a 17.
17. Okay, so as you examine the body with your magnifying glass and fish helmet, which I think would look really funny, nevertheless, it works. You can see that this corpse is pinned with at least a dozen small dart-like projectiles. Thinking about it for a minute, you look over at the wall on the opposite side and you see that there are small holes in the stone, as if there was maybe perhaps a trap that was triggered. Indeed, as you look down, you can see that there's a pressure plate in the floor that must have been depressed by this individual. Basically, this person is very familiar looking, the violet robes that you saw in Nerisban being worn by the monks of the Shar, of the kingdom of Shar. You guys can draw your own conclusions about who those people were. I think you guys have some theories. Eyes are lifeless and staring at the ceiling.
All right. So there are a lot of traps in the air. This person didn't make it 5 steps in and it's dead. I think from now on, only step where I step. If I die, just take care of Chuck.
Why would you think you're going to die?
I mean, I have bad experiences with these dark areas.
I mean,
getting a lot of anxiety, guys.
As long as we can get your corpse out of here, I can resurrect you in up to 10 days.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm
that should make you feel better.
I'm not freaking out yet.
Focus on that. Let's
just do this really carefully. Let's just not do anything dumb. Let's no dumb stuff. And let's try and be really quiet. At this point, I'm gonna pull my hood up. I'm gonna take the magnifying glass back out. I'm gonna get really low and just start slowly walking along, looking for traps as quietly and stealthily as possible.
Okay. Go ahead and you can move forward to the corner there. As you look closer, you see no additional traps. You do see those tracks that I had mentioned, and you see a room in front of you. Do you move into it?
I will check for traps along my route to enter it.
Okay, roll investigation. Feyre, do you follow?
Yep. I am.
And everybody, if you are trying to stealth, give me stealth rolls as well.
So it would actually be a 13 for investigation.
Okay. You don't see any pressure plates. You now kind of know what to look for. You don't see anything in front of you.
And I got a 30 on stealth.
Okay. Let me know if you... So Feyre 17 and Runar 17. How about Theo? Oh,
22 total.
Wow.
Needed that natural 20 to get that high, though.
Holy cow. Yeah, you guys are
Nice.
like ghosts as you move into the space. Byron, you look ahead and you can see that there is a chamber with some sort of writing, some sort of strange tile work on the floor. But from where you are, it's really hard to tell. You'd have to move into the space a little bit more to get a better look at things. At this point, you don't see any traps at the moment, but you do see to the south, you see 2 chests that are cracked open, heaping with gold. The walls of the chamber are painted a flat black, and the floor, as I mentioned, is inlaid with a colorful mosaic of strange gods cavorting and leaping around a sun. There's a chalky white statue to the north that sits upon a throne. The surface of the throne appears to be carved in the likeness of feathers. The statue itself wears a feathered headdress and robe, and across its lap, resting in open palms, is a scepter of gold and silver with an eagle's head crafted on one side and the talons of a bird holding the blazing sun on the other side. The most interesting thing, as you double take at it twice, Byron, as you step into the room, there's something that catches your eye about it. It appears to have carved into the stone features your face. The rest of you guys follow Runar and Theo. You make your way into the space. Okay. So you guys are able to move into the space a little bit.
I mean, I see the chests of gold, and I say, well, that definitely looks like a trap.
Yeah, we're not here to get rich right now.
Yeah, maybe hit those on the way back.
I say we leave them.
Yes.
We're on a more important mission.
It's a little
You guys
too
see this over
obvious.
here, guys?
What?
I'm gonna walk.
You mean the
walk towards
statue?
The statue slowly.
Oh, That looks like you, man.
I'm gonna put my head right next to it and then make the same face.
It's totally you, Byron.
It does look like Byron to the rest of us as well.
Yep.
Where'd you say
Just to
your
be sure.
family was from? That's it. That's
What
the
was the
look.
question?
Oh, that is uncanny.
Yeah, look at
What?
it. In a certain light, like if you just
That's not
That's
good.
kinda
That's
freaky.
concerning.
I'd like
Alarming?
to examine the statue a little bit.
Yeah, is it
I
magical?
would like to cast detect magic.
Your eyes go blue, Theo, and you look at this creature or the statue, excuse me, and it does give off
Creature now.
some magical. It does give off a magical essence.
Yes, that is ensorcelled. And just sweep the room to be sure there's nothing else magical lying in wait.
More magical traps.
Go ahead and roll a perception check. You don't see anything else that jumps out as magical in nature other than the statue at the north end of the room. You do notice as you scan the room that there is, to the south, a set of stone stairs that descend into darkness. It appears as though they were once hidden behind a wall to conceal the route. There is also a gold seal affixed to the far wall above the stairs in symbols that are written in a language that I'm not sure you might recognize it. Yeah, you'd probably recognize it as Olman. But you don't know, I don't think you speak Olman, so you probably wouldn't know what it says.
I do not speak Omen. I got a 22 perception. Just look around and go, okay, so I'm going to guess the Brotherhood opened that. Do I see anything else with the 22 perception?
Nope. There's a hallway that goes to the east that continues on and then takes a turn and goes north, but you can't really see much farther down that way. Over here in this area.
Theo, you think the Scarlet Brotherhood opened this path?
I think that's the most likely people to have been in here destroying walls, unless something wicked evil came out of it.
Do you think
we didn't.
Do you think they could have carved my face?
I think that's a little unlikely, given that the statue is magical.
Runar,
So-
you were investigating. What did you roll for your investigation check?
Oh, haven't yet. Sorry. 15.
I mean, other than the fact that the face of this statue is your friend's face, which is super creepy and weird, the only other very noticeable thing is that, as I mentioned, in the open palmed hands of this statue is a scepter of gold and silver with an eagle's head on one end and then a raptor talon on the other end holding a sun.
Does that ring any bell to me in a history way? Like, does any of this iconography remind me of a story or something I would have read in a book?
I feel like we may have had a check on this in a past game, but go ahead and roll a history check.
11.
Not really. I mean, just because you're an intelligent character, you do get the sense that this is Olman. This must be an Olman. It's an Olman city. This is an Olman shrine. This must have something to do with their way of life or their religion or their mythology or something like that. It's definitely in that sort of motif of an ancient temple with what appear to be important messages throughout the space.
Oh, why didn't my mother give me any kind of omen books?
Well, she was doing the best she could, but you read so much.
Byron, just don't touch it. Something off about it. And I'm gonna walk down here and peek down this hallway.
Okay.
As soon as he goes to peek down
Just
that hallway, I'm going to
peek.
touch it.
Oops, hold on. Reveal area.
saw kobolds.
There we go. You see a hallway, Runar. Again, some of the walls are buckled and broken. It leads about 20 feet and then seems to take a turn. Byron, what are you doing again? What did you say you're doing?
As soon as he tells me not to touch it, and then he goes and walks away and looks down that hallway. As he's walking down that hallway, I'm going to touch it.
You're just going to be like, boop, touch.
Yep, it's just going to be a little poke.
Nothing happens.
It's okay. Didn't need anything to happen.
Byron, knock it off.
Why? What? How do you see me?
Busted.
He
It
does
twists
have
and turns over there.
Daddy's back.
Have eyes in the back of his head. Holy shit, he is a father.
Did you see any footprints down that hallway? Have the Brotherhood been down that hallway as well?
It's a good question. Can I look around for tracks?
Yeah. Go perception or survival if you'd like. Either of those would suffice.
They are the same for me, so we'll go survival. No, I should have gone perception. 10.
Hard to say. For you, it's pretty difficult to track in these conditions. Plus, you've got this big fish helmet on that when you get down to examine things, it kind of shifts a little bit.
Big.
It doesn't quite fit as snugly as you'd like to get it taken in a little bit.
That's what attunement's for, I thought. Just kidding.
Your head shrunk.
Anyways.
What can I say?
Oh shit, the voodoo doctors have already gotten to you.
What would you guys like to do
I
at
don't
this
know.
point?
I'm going to take some rope out and make a couple trip traps at the entrance to these two hallways,
Okay.
and then suggest that we go down the staircase stealthily looking for traps.
That is also what I would recommend. That seems the most likely direction we need to go to find whatever is at the bottom of Tamoachan.
It's true. Whatever's terrible is usually down.
Right. Right. Byron, are you
I
going to
saw
go
a rock
first?
once. It was way up. Anyways, yeah. Yep, I'm going to go first.
I'll follow
Hoods
him
up, magnifying
with
glass
the
out.
lantern.
Okay. You guys
I'll
are heading
form
down
the rear.
the rear. All right. Give me a second while I make a move. All right. Let me grab your tokens. I'm using a new feature here with the nice. All right, so Byron's first, Farah's second. Runar's following behind. Theo coming up. You guys are on the stairs. Byron, you do not see any traps on the floor or on the walls as you're making your way down the stairs. You come to there's a door in front of you, a stone door that appears to be sealed.
I will look for a mechanism by which to open it and search that mechanism for traps if I find one.
Okay, roll an investigation check.
I will assist by trying to angle the lantern in the right direction so we can view it.
Okay, you can make it with advantage.
So it's going to be a 24 investigation. Or no, wait, sorry, 25.
25. Okay. You look at the door. It doesn't appear, at least from this side of the door, that there's any sort of trap, but you do see that there is some sort of a locking mechanism. A locking mechanism that would receive a key.
Okay.
But it looks strange. It doesn't look like an iron key that you might have seen regularly throughout your days. It looks as if it has a different kind of shape to it.
Can you
How different of a
describe the
shape?
shape?
The shape kind of looks like one of the glyphs that are on the walls. Possibly not unlike one of the glyphs that's in the message above you on the wall above the stairs, which you guys can't read. I don't think any of you read Omen.
I'll raise the lantern up to the writing above the door and illuminate it to the group.
With that investigation check, you can make the connection that there's symbols above the door that also look like they're a symbol that would potentially be part of this key, whatever this key mechanism is that you're not sure about.
Okay. You
Is
know,
it a magic lock?
I'm not sure. It looks. I'm gonna take up my notebook and start sketching the symbol that I see where the key would
Theo's
go.
eyes still up?
They can be. I think you can use it
still
at will.
If not, I can just make it happen. Yeah, it's an at will.
Yep. It's hard for you to see because you're at the top of the stairs. You guys are like literally stacked up again on the stairs. But you kind of look over Runar's shoulder. You don't see anything magical.
After I'm done sketching the symbol that I see in the key thing, I'm gonna hold it up, see if any of the symbols on the door, whichever one matches it the best, I'm gonna just attempt to grab it and pull it down like a key.
It is sort of like carved into this gold plate. It's not like an actual thing you could pull off. It's like there's a piece of gold affixed to the wall, and it has been etched into the gold.
Okay.
And it's also much bigger than the keyhole. The keyhole is probably, like something like this big, and the plaque with the whatever's written there is probably like about this, like rectangular in nature.
Okay.
Could the key have been on that body? We never searched that body.
I thought we did.
Did
We
we?
not?
I don't think
I
you
rolled
did.
him over so you could look at his pockets.
It also strikes me that if the Scarlet Brotherhood had found the key, they would have opened this door.
Maybe
I'm
it
gonna
locked
go
behind
back up
him.
the hallway and search that body.
Okay. Yeah, the
Watch out
body.
for the rope traps.
I see your ropes.
It also may be down the other hallway.
Yeah, we might need to look in the other spot.
The body does not have a key on it.
Okay.
It doesn't really have anything on it. It looks like perhaps it was already, whatever was on this body may have already been pilfered.
No luck. Maybe it's over here. We never did look down here.
All right, well, let's check it out.
Maybe there's another way down.
Well, maybe there's a clue about how we're supposed to open that.
Byron, you want to go first?
Yeah, I got you.
Hold on.
You're not making any noise.
Oh God. Oh God.
You've been muted.
Theo says, hold up. Sighs as if a small voice had just spoken to him from beyond this plane, perhaps that of his sword. He mutters a few words, makes a few arcane things, and casts comprehend languages.
Oh.
Good job.
Things I forgot I'd had.
Are you casting it ritually? Or is that a oh,
Warlocks
you have that. You have
can't-
Warlock.
Warlocks cannot cast ritually, though.
Okay. So
It is, sad.
you watch as this kind of like a cuneiform almost symbology sort of rearranges itself and reveals a message that says, beware, beyond this door is death itself.
Oh, it just says, beware, beyond this door is death itself. So
That's worth casting a spell, I'm sure. What does the the rune on the door say?
it's just like the letter P. No, I've done. What is the letter that would go there? Is it a form that the spell can recognize as a piece of language?
Yeah, you could probably put two and two together and it's death.
I'm going to give you 3 guesses as to what that symbol is. You're not going to like what it is. Go.
Is it the Omen
Necromancer.
word for death?
Correct.
Bing, 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 bing.
Do we just say death in Omen?
No,
don't think
I
that's a
think
good idea.
actually goes here. At which point Theo will kind of turn back just up the stairs and look around this other room now that he has comprehend languages up, because there was Omen in this room, wasn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Gonna check that out.
There is some Omen characters around in the tiling of the floor, and essentially it has to do with some of their religious beliefs revolving around the sun, and there's not like a whole lot of clues to anything. It's mostly just sort of like a little bit about their culture. Doesn't necessarily tell you a whole lot. Most of it actually are actual drawings of these what did I say it was? Mosaic of strange gods cavorting and leaping around the sun.
Well, this is all very culturally interesting, but none of it is necessarily helpful, other than clearly there seemed to be some sort of heliocentric pantheon.
Isn't that weird though? Because why are they sun worshippers if they have some kind of dark deity that dwells underground?
Well, they may not have started with a dark deity that dwells underground. They may have started with the sun deity, and things got weird.
That sounds unfortunate.
Does not sound good. I mean, Theo just kind of thinks, there was that whole prehistorical war of mages that caused horrible widespread things to happen, so that could fuck up a number of civilizations. If this civilization is old enough, it might have been around at that time.
Are any of you
Greyhawk
learned
gravy for you.
in history? Are you, Theo, or do you have proficiency in history?
Do I have... I do not have proficiency, no.
Okay.
But
I am.
I'll roll it, or she can roll it.
No,
I'll
we
help her
already
roll it.
rolled. We already rolled.
Yeah, every time I've rolled a history check
Yeah.
for Ullman, it's been like,
Real
no,
bad.
you did not study.
Yeah, you didn't study it.
Well, then fine, I'll roll it. See what we get. Hold on, now I'm looking over. It's a 10!
Yeah. The only
What
the
Theo
only thing
just
that
described
you
is all he's got.
Yeah, that's about it. The only other thing that I would give you is that, there were peoples here before the Ullman, or cultures of some kind. So what you said is quite possibly true. You're not 100% sure, but it seems feasible.
Shit
Nevertheless,
gets weird as time changes.
That's right. Nevertheless, you did know about the twin cataclysms, though. That was nice of you to drop some of that in there.
Gotta get that Greyhawk gravy everywhere.
Yep. So, Byron, tell me about what you're doing over here.
So I'm gonna be largely looking for traps. First, I'm gonna be picking myself up because I tripped over my trip trap.
Okay.
So as I'm getting up, I'm gonna be like looking around, checking for pressure plates, checking for pit traps, checking for, trap doors, checking for hidden mechanisms in the walls that may reveal hidden rooms.
Okay. Roll an investigation check for this next hallway, we'll say. You guys are definitely taking your time as you're making your way through this space. We'll get another round of stealth checks from you here too.
It's gonna be a 20 investigation.
Okay. As you get up to this spot here, there is a pressure plate on the ground.
All right, so I'll make a big deal out of it. Guys.
Oh.
I didn't need to know that much about your sex life when you were younger, but I'm very
Something
impressed.
about vampires.
Holding up the lantern.
Say what?
What's going on, Byron?
Did you find something?
Let's get out of the hallway.
All right.
Okay.
Are you going to trigger the trap, or are you going to leap over it? I mean, it's basically
going
a stone tile that you've identified as
Right.
the pressure plate. It's not like the whole the whole hallway.
Yep.
It's just at that location.
So I'm gonna reach into my thieves toolkit. I'm gonna look for like wedges. I'm gonna like tap a few wedges under each one. Each corner of this trap to keep it from being able to depress.
You know, there was a time, guys, where you were using pitons almost every game session back in the day. It's been a while.
I know.
Yeah,
they're very valuable.
Yep, it's really it's kind of nostalgic. It's bringing me back. All right, so you basically kind of like jam it so that the pressure won't trigger anything.
Jam it so pressure can't go down.
Easy enough to do. You're able to do it, no problem. You had a great investigation roll, so that's not going to be hard at all. So you're able to press on if you want down that hallway with no problem.
Excellent. And I will still point the trap out to everyone and still step over it.
What are the stealth checks at this point?
Let's find out.
Only a 20.
Only a 20. Well, I only got a 21, so go to hell.
27 with advantage.
Jeez,
Yeah,
you
but
guys.
you get a +2.
You
Natural
rolled the
20.
worst, Byron.
I rolled
How
the
is that?
worst.
You guys are
That has never
stealthy.
happened, folks.
I don't think
That
it has.
never happened,
Yeah,
no.
that's beautiful.
We are the knight.
Why I said
Apparently.
only 20,
Yes,
Theo.
you are. Byron, as you get to the
Natural
end of the
20.
hall, you see that there is a golden inlaid door to the east.
All right, that's fancy as hell.
Yeah.
I'm gonna investigate it for mechanisms to open it and trap mechanisms, and I'm going to call for Theo to come forward and look at it with his eyes and ability to read languages.
Sure. So you get up on it. Go ahead and roll investigation check. Theo, it does not appear to you as magic.
The good news here is the only magic you find is that magic inherent to all writing, which allows us to transmit messages across space and time.
Okay.
Well, aren't you fancy?
Byron, you notice that, yes, it actually at one point was trapped, but the trapping mechanism is disabled.
Okay, is it locked?
Do you kind of give it a little bit of a little push?
Yeah, I'll give it a light push.
You feel it give just ever so slightly.
Okay, I'll look back at Theo and I'll be like,
I don't know what you're asking, my friend.
switch spots.
So you want me to go through the door first? That is a wise maneuver, yes. And we switch spots.
Okay.
Do a little dance.
Do a little dance. And Theo's just gonna nudge the door open slowly, just enough to kind of look through.
The door opens into the space, reveals what appears to be a larger chamber. You can see more of the strange tiling on the floor from the angle that you have right here, as well as just the edge of a winged statue against the far wall.
There is some more of the work we saw in the previous room, and I think there's a winged statue or a wing out of rock. Maybe it's gargoyles, I don't know. I'm going in.
It's probably also worth noting that as you enter, you can see that the walls of this chamber are lined with jade. They are green and beautiful.
You can kind of look back. I think this room is related to your lantern.
Let's check it out.
100%
And Theo will
it is.
step around the corner and see what's what. Oh boy.
Holy shit.
You enter this large room, walls of green polished stone, this jade, and strangely patterned mosaic again on the floor. There is to the south a gruesome pile of corpses in varying states of decomposition. They lay piled atop a stone altar carved in the likeness of bone. Beyond the bodies, you see to the south, right here, what appears to be a broken section of wall that opens to reveal a secret passage behind.
So do you think I should take this into the room or not take it into the room? Because I could put it in a bag or something.
Let's bring it in and see what happens. I don't have a better idea.
Do we
All
burn
right.
those bodies?
If something bad happens, Byron, then put this lantern in your bag. You know, the
Okay.
special bag.
The special bag.
Right, the bag of holding.
Oh, that's not special.
It's pretty special.
It's just a really big bag.
Theo, as you move into the space and the others are having their conversation, you can see that there are two large bat-like humanoid statues on either side. In the middle, there is a unlit brazier that is filled with ash and maybe some nearly burned, not 100% burned material. There are two, one in each corner, coffins that have all kinds of weird, like serpent iconography on the lids. And then, as I said, there is this pile of bodies atop this stone altar.
Nothing
There-
good happened in this room.
Also, a variety of clay urns that are stacked along the edges. Some of them appear to be broken here towards this opening in the wall.
Is there a river of blood flowing from that altar?
From where you are, you can't really tell. You'd have to get closer to investigate. You're kind of over in the area there. Yeah, go ahead and roll an
Theo
investigation check.
Theo will flank the other side of the altar as Byron moves up just to be safe.
I will cautiously, slowly tiptoe into the room with the green lantern just in case something bad happens. Looking for movement.
17.
I really want to make your prediction true, Farah, so I'm thinking of things to do with this lantern now.
Oh no.
Byron, yes, there is a channel that comes from somewhere underneath this altar and then goes and disappears behind this wall. It is like a small indentation in the stone floor, and it has all kinds of dried blood in it. It's not flowing or it is very much like dried. You look at this altar, and these bodies have been here for quite some time. It's not like dripping with blood. It looks as though the blood is crusty and dried on the stones.
Is that all recent?
I think so.
Oh, God. Do you think the Brotherhood did it to each other?
I don't know.
Do you investigate the
take out-
bodies?
I'm not good at that.
Go ahead, Byron.
I'm gonna
What were you going to say?
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take out a bunch of I'm gonna take out like 3-4 rags, like stuff them into this channel so nothing can flow through. And I'm gonna burn a candle and melt a bunch of wax onto them so they won't let anything like eventually saturate and flow through.
Okay. Like a little dam, basically.
Yeah. Making
Okay.
a little makeshift dam.
Put a little
Blood
mark on
dam.
it where you're doing that for me. As
I'm
it
gonna do
will
close to the
have
wall.
massive implications for what happens. You guys
That's why
are
we
you
can't have
guys
nice
are
things.
you guys are building it as we go. Green lanterns, wax
I'm gonna move
dams.
up and kind of peer through this wall.
It's a broken wall that continues to the west. If you move down into the space,
Yeah.
as you step on that location right there in the corner, you hear a little
Shit.
roll a dex save.
All right. I'm going to use one of my advantages.
I would.
I would use a lot of my advantages.
Hold on.
Here.
24.
Circuit
You
Dirk.
you dive out of the way as from this far wall here, darts come flying across and they hit the wall as you jump out of the way and land on the ground where you were standing.
There is a trap over here.
Then why didn't you let Byron go first, Captain?
Yeah, I was just making a dam real quick.
I don't know. Getting tired sneaking around, I guess.
No one likes sneaking around, not even Byron. It's a skill we employ to stay alive.
Yeah, it sucks. I hate doing it.
The hallway turns at the
I
end down
hate
here, though.
sneaking. I don't think so. Insight check. I think Byron loves it. I'm sorry. Was anybody investigating the body pile or anything else in this room?
Sure. I'll be investigating the body pile, and I also want to double check to see if it looks like any of those coffins have been opened recently.
Ooh. That's a great idea. Go ahead and roll an investigation check for me. What are the rest of you doing while Feyre is investigating?
Theo's looking around and he just stops, sighs, hangs his head, and goes, "Hey, Captain. This remind you of any other place we've been? Maybe involving a coffin under a town, then eventually vampire thralls?"
A little bit, yeah. I don't like that channel of blood.
Feyre, you examine first the bodies, and you see that some of them are quite old. It almost looks as though old bodies have been covered by fresh bodies that have become old, that have been covered by more fresh bodies that have become old. They're in all kind of states of decay. Some of the bodies that are on top look to be as if they were our Brotherhood garbed individuals.
Do I have any pockets? Or like
some of them have pouches and things like that. If you really wanted to dig into this carnage pile, you probably could.
If I see any pouches or like pockets, like clothing that is still looks good, I will roll the bodies. Basically, I'll see if they have anything on them, especially any keys, or anything. I mean, Theo, do you still have that magic thing? Look over this.
Which magic thing?
You know when your eyes go blue?
He says a word and his eyes go blue. Yeah, I
Do
can
you see
just
any magical
that
loot
anytime.
in this pile of corpses?
not really worried about loot right now, but I will use detect magic on the chamber, including the pile of corpses.
You scan through the corpses as best you can tell. There's nothing magical. The coffins, the two coffins, which Feyre appear to be sealed and unbroken, as best you can tell, do not appear to be magical. A number of the urns appear to be magical. There's some sort of just faint magical essence glowing from the urns.
Nobody touched the urns. They're ensorcelled.
If there's any pouches, I will grab those just in case there's coin.
What was your investigation check, Feyre, when you looked at the bodies?
15.
Sure. You do find a couple of things. Give me a D100 roll. Ooh.
It says it's rolling.
Okay.
4.
You find a small pouch. It's a rigid pouch, and you're able to retrieve it off of a belt that's kind of dangling. You open up this pouch, and it almost looks like, for lack of a better way to describe it, like a pack of cigarettes. But inside is a vial of clear liquid. It looks like maybe there were other vials in here. You're not sure what it is.
All right.
But it's a vial of clear liquid.
Does the clear liquid radiate El Magic?
Yes. It is magical clear liquid.
Is it El Magic or Le Magic?
Le Magique.
Oh, shit, it's French.
I'll cast Identify on it.
You're going to cast Identify? Okay. Mm-hmm. It appears to be some sort of potion that replenishes hit points.
Ooh.
For the purposes of our mechanical approach to this game, it would, if you drank it, it would restore 1d8 hit points.
Oh.
Does anybody else want to look for something completely random out of this pile. Roll a D100 because I have this D100 random fantasy tables book.
Well, as long as we're getting to roll at a table that makes you happy, why
I
wouldn't I?
mean,
Yeah, I got a 77.
I got 79.
I got 100. Fuck.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's going to be good. Byron,
Gotta
you
be
find
good.
a coin pouch with your 77.
That's
You
thematically
kind of hold it in
appropriate.
your hand and weigh it, kind of to guess. Roll an insight check for me as you sort of like estimate. Runar, what did you get?
79.
You find a pouch, Runar, that's a little bit bigger, and you're like, ooh, what the hell is this? You pull it out. You open up the pouch and you reach in and pull out a porcelain doll that looks extremely lifelike and very creepy.
Oh shit! This thing's creepy as hell. Look at it. It's like it like looks at you.
Holy insight check. You're
That has
guessing,
to be cursed.
Byron, you're
Mhm.
guessing that, yeah, the porcelain doll glows with magical energy, by the way.
I'm gonna drop
The money bag that you found has 250 gold pieces in it, Byron. And a
I'll
100.
look at Theo. Is it magic?
No,
250 gold?
it's 250 gold. It has only the same magic as all of the currency. It exists in the minds of men.
You know, I'll peek into it and I'll be like, oh, it's only like 10 gold. And I'll stuff it into my pocket.
Theo, you find amongst the carnage a golden goblet with strange, gruesome, shall I say, vampiric iconography on it. It glows magic as well.
Feyre, this may be a problem. Can you look at it?
Sure. All right. I will cast identify on it.
Go ahead and roll an Arcana check as well.
Okay.
Yeah!
Yep.
4 with a natural 1.
Ouch.
So we have established that Feyre knows little to nothing about the Omen history, their gods, or anything else. So what you do learn from casting this spell, because you do get to learn some things, is that this is a ritual chalice that is used in some dark necromancy, right up Theo's alley, and that it can be used to restore power to things that have been long dead or long in stasis.
Oh.
Should the blood of a mortal fill this mug and it be placed to the lips of a slumbering creature of the night, they will wake.
Do
Do you guys share that with everybody?
Yeah, have a sip.
Do you see any blood in that chalice? Like, it just look dirty? Like someone's used it recently?
As soon as Runar hears that, he's going to take 3 stakes out of his bag and start carving sharp tips into the end of them.
There's just this moment of like Runar and Theo looking at each
Torches.
other like,
Did I say torches? I'm going to use
motherfucker.
torches and start
Sharpen the
sharpening
edge,
ends of
the other
ends
end
of
of
I'll
torches.
trade you. I'll
Yes.
trade you this pouch of 250 gold for that
Mm.
that gold chalice.
Dave, can I roll Arcana to see if I understand any more function of it? Or
Sure.
is that everything?
Yeah,
So
you
say-
can roll.
I'm trained in Arcana. I'm better at it,
It's-
probably.
I mean, it's just some kind of weird.
It's going to be a
omen
straight
thing.
roll, though. It's not going to be with any advantages or anything
That's
like
fine.
that.
That's a 21 total.
You have a little bit of experience with vampires, not a lot, but you definitely get a hardcore creep feeling from this thing, and you realize that this is something that's been used. It's probably thousands of years old. And this temple that you're in, as you sort of look around and start to take it in, there has been a bit of a change in the way that the symbology is written and drawn and is displayed. It looks as though you've kind of moved between a newer section of this shrine and have moved into something that's much older.
So I'm going to say that this little thing, this little room, predates some of the other shit around here, like what's outside. So
Burn it.
probably used to be home of vampire lords. This right here, I'm putting in a bag of holding, plunk. And once we are clear of this fucking city, we will dispose of it somewhere. But I don't want to just leave it here where maybe they could pick it up to make a new generation of vampires if something happens.
What if we destroyed it?
I
We don't
really
have
do
time
not.
for that right now.
Yeah, not right
It
now.
would take some doing.
I think we got this between the 4 of us.
Not right now.
I would say that you would probably know, Byron, that destroying a magical item like this would take power that's much stronger than what you guys have.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we gotta figure out where to destroy this. Should we move on? Should we keep looking around here?
Carefully.
Should we
Let's carefully
open the
keep
coffins or anything?
We are not
No.
opening the fucking coffin.
Cool. Just checking. Just a
No.
question.
The Brotherhood didn't even open him. I can't see any. Like, it looks still sealed.
Yeah, I have
We
an
should
idea.
probably leave it.
I'm going to suggest we actually, you know what? Yeah, let's just move on. We don't need to use Pythons to lock them shut.
Byron, there's a
Shut
trap
up.
here, so we need to be careful.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, there's gonna be traps in every room.
So let's move.
So Byron, you move into this space.
Yeah, I'm gonna double check it for traps, see if the trap is still active first.
You're not 100% sure because the far wall here is where the projectiles came from. As you step
Okay.
into this space, though, you're more than welcome to look there. I mean, for other traps, is that or anything like that. So if you want to, you can roll an investigation check.
Yeah, I'll do a full investigation of the hallway as I move through it.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and burn an advantage for this.
Smart.
It's gonna be a 14.
Oof.
14. You get down low and you look at the floor. You see a couple of things on the floor. You see tracks indicating that other individuals have walked through this space. They must have either avoided setting off the pressure plate trap that Runar set off, or perhaps they reset it. You don't know, but there has been traffic through here recently. You also catch a faint, not a breeze, but you could hear like air moving to the south of that wall that you're near.
Okay. I'll go ahead and look. Does it look like there are any seams, noticeable openings anywhere on the wall that would suggest perhaps a hidden door or a mechanism to open a hidden door or anything like that?
You roll another investigation check as you start to focus your investigation on this wall.
A natural 20 for a 24, which is with
Wow.
the magnifying glass at 28.
28.
Very nice. A 28. To anyone else's eye, there would be nothing there. They would walk right past this, as the Brotherhood monks probably did however many times they've been down this hall. But to you, you can see that there are gaps in the mortar that appear to be just slightly different. Maybe a higher concentration of sand in the mortar than in the other areas, as if this wall was put in slightly at a different time than the rest of the hallway. There definitely is a secret, something behind that wall.
Okay.
Secret
I'll
door.
stop everyone you know, and I'm gonna start doing hand signals.
That's pretty
Again,
good.
that seems to imply that when you were a child, beating other people for fun is not healthy.
Are we waving at each other?
Do you know
I'm
what he's talking about?
confused. No.
Nobody
Alright,
does. He's not
let's
talking.
move up. Any more traps? Let's go.
Guys, there's
I want to get as far away
my
from the
hand
doll
signals
as
aren't that
possible.
bad.
Byron, what are you trying to say?
Creepy doll.
I think my hand signals are pretty good, actually.
We're terrible at reading them. That's the problem, which is why you should probably stick to talking to us.
Okay. Well, I think this wall was put in later. I think there's something behind it.
Perhaps a secret door?
Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's something. Maybe there was a cave in here and they replaced it. But I have a high suspicion that behind this wall there may be some important things. I think we should check it out. How do you want to proceed?
Let's
Yeah.
go around. We're not going to bust down walls right now. It's too loud.
The only caveat I would have to that, Captain, if there was a secret key that the Brotherhood missed in a year here,
Yeah, this doesn't look like it's been touched by the traffic.
and let's check to see if we can just move the wall, if it's some sort of hidden secret something.
Okay.
All right.
Let's see.
Yeah, check it out.
Let us perhaps investigate the door, someone who's good at such things.
I'll put my hands on the door and say, "Open."
Wait, we found a door? I thought it was just a wall.
They said it's
The-
a secret door.
Theo's making
No.
an assumption.
Mm-hmm.
And-
Just calling open sesame does not do anything, unfortunately.
It's-
Man,
Is someone good at inspecting that sort of thing? I have only a +3 to investigation.
I'll do some looking. I found this thing. I thought I'd done my job, but I guess I'm gonna keep going. I'm
I
gonna take out a pry
will-
bar and I'm gonna jam it into the sandy nook in between two stones and just rip it up.
Roll acrobatic or athletics, excuse me, check as you muscle this thing.
I was kind of hoping for a natural one, to be honest, but I got a 12.
12 is good enough. It opens up as the rocks start to crumble. You can peer through, and there is a some sort of a hallway. You can just kind of look through where you pulled the rock out.
Okay. Yeah, there's a hallway back here.
We should most likely try to go down that hallway then.
All right.
It would take you some time, but you could carefully and quietly pull these rocks out, hand them back to the people behind you, kind of like, and they could put them inside the room and get them out of the way to reveal what's there.
Do that.
Okay. Or Favor could turn us all into mice.
Let's go with the option that doesn't require expending
not-
magical
it's
energy.
too
We may need
expensive.
later.
You're right. Never
And
mind.
I could only have one of us be a mouse at a time, which would take a long time.
True. You're right.
You,
Okay.
you begin
This is
pulling the
crazy
rocks
idea.
out of the wall one by one, and eventually you create a hole big enough to peer through, and you can see that it leads to a stairway that goes down. And you can just, as you peer through, you can see with your, you have your fish helmet on, so you can see in the dark. There is a pool of murky water at the base of the stairs, and across about 5 to 7 feet span, there are 2 gold chests of gold that are open. There is also above the treasure the head of a brass dragon mounted on the wall.
Ick move.
Wow.
Like a real dragon
Hard to tell from where you're at.
or a statue?
Or
Oh,
a
man.
mask.
Or a trap.
Yeah, this seems like it's just a bad idea.
Byron, let's at least see if it is trapped down to the water. We take a look from the water side and then see what happens.
Okay. I will sneak down the stairs while also looking for traps.
Okay. Give me a stealth roll for Byron as well as a perception check.
27 stealth, 18 perception.
You're super fucking stealthy. You don't see
Very
any...
sneaky,
There's
much
no mechanical traps that you detect as you're moving down the stairs.
No mechanical traps. I'll stop in my tracks, taking a cue from as if Biori whispered in my ear, and I will look back at Theo and say,
See, I got that one. Theo casts Detect Magic and looks down the stairs.
At the bottom of the stairs, there is what appears to be a glyph, an invisible glyph. As best you can tell, it's some sort of a glyph of warding.
There is a glyph at the bottom of the stairs. Some sort of magical trap.
A what?
Right
Magical trap.
I can't see that.
Byron, don't go down there.
Yeah.
That's how we freed the vampire. We broke one of those things.
Yeah, okay. So here's an idea. Why'd you have to say don't do that? And I'm going to immediately take a step back and let Theo pass me so he can dispel this thing. Catch Runar completely off guard, thinking that I was about to dive on that thing.
Theo's going to kind of step down to the bottom of the stairs, look at the glyph, and then look up into the rest of the room to see if there's any obvious magical radiation. Like, is that pool secretly like a magical reactor and we're all getting like magical beta ray poisoning?
You look closer at the pool from that like the last stair on the stairs, right? And you can see that there is it's stagnant. It looks as though perhaps it hasn't been refilled, or you're not sure. It's not flowing by any stretch of the imagination. It's also not magical, but the head of the dragon is magical.
I mean,
Theo's thinking about that, and he'll just kind of he pulls out a gold coin and starts kind of like flipping it in his hand, or with his thumb, just like, so the dragon's head is magical? I don't know what that is. Something strange is definitely happening here, though. And with that, he takes the gold piece and flicks it into the pool.
Poof! Disappears. Nothing happens.
Ooh.
Here's
Can
what
we
I'm
go
thinking.
over that?
Go ahead.
Can we go over the glyphy thingy?
Yes, the glyph is big enough we could walk over, like walk around it, right?
You could, yeah, you could avoid it. It's placed such that someone just kind of moseying down the stairs would obviously set it off. But now that you know where it is with your detect magic, you could avoid it.
Theo will in fact get down, pull out a piece of chalk, and just draw a big circle that like gives it like 6 inches of space all around it.
Nice.
Goes, do not stand here. And then, having stepped around, is just kind of looking up at this dragon head like, so if you're an ancient vampire deity, why do you kill and mount a bronze dragon's head in a hidden compartment? Unless this predates that, which is possible.
Seems to me that this may or may not be some form of like ritual chamber that the vampires don't know anything about. Why would they search for this?
Or they boarded it up because they didn't like it. I mean,
or maybe it's a threat to them.
Well, metallic dragons are historically, I believe, considered agents of good and might be associated with things like solar forces. Look at the color. So this might be
more sun deity.
Can you see?
Yes.
Is it real? Is it a real head? Or is
I'm
it a
gonna kind of
statue?
squint from across the pool of water to see if it looks like it was a real dragon's head that was like stuffed, essentially.
Yeah, is it like taxidermy or is it like a sculpture?
It doesn't appear to be a real dragon's head. It appears to be a fabrication, possibly made out of brass.
Nope, that is a fake dragon's head.
But it
and
is
it's magical.
So it's a trap to guard treasure?
Maybe. I don't know.
Should
I
I?
think we should bother
Maybe you
the
step on
treasure.
that glyph and fire shoots out of the dragon's mouth.
Oh, possibly. Or if it is a traditional glyph of warding in the, as practiced by modern wizards, it most likely just murders anyone who stands on it with magical energy. Both are
So,
possible.
Very
Should
efficient.
I just, leap off the wall and jump over to the other side? Like,
Do you want
like
to?
a Jackie Chan.
It looks like a dead end.
You totally should.
What about the water?
I mean, is that a chest?
There's several chests of treasure, but we'll worry about the gold later. My hope here is if this was walled off, perhaps it could be used against whatever dark thing is trapped near it. That's my hope, but I just don't understand how or what it could be.
Feyre, as you're peering at the chest, give me a perception check, please.
17.
17. Okay. As you look closer, you see that mixed amongst the coins in one of the chests are several bones. They look to be humanoid bones. There's also what appears to be a broken sword. The hilt of a sword is sticking out of one of the chests at an odd angle. And there appears to be a small wooden box on one of the piles of gold as well.
Are those bones?
Are
Why would
those
bones be in a treasure chest?
Because it's not a treasure chest. And he just pulls out his boot knife and chucks a boot knife at one of the chests that has bones in or near it. Trying to attack it because he suspects that it is not what it appears to be.
The dagger hits the pile of coins, ricocheting off the side of the chest lid and drops to the stone floor with no effect.
That is not what I thought would happen there.
I don't think it's what you think it is.
Apparently I don't, and use Mage Hand to kind of just retrieve the dagger and pull it back over.
Oh, if you can do that with Mage Hand,
Yeah,
how about
grab
that
something out of
broken
there.
sword or that
The box.
really weird box?
Wait.
Suspiciously normal box.
Before we do that, goodness. I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna investigate for traps.
If
Okay.
you're going to pop over, okay.
I mean, I don't want you guys to die.
I don't want you to die. Like this anyway.
I'm gonna jump across the water,
Okay.
land, and try not to touch the chest or the dragon skull.
Okay.
Take out the magnifying glass and start inspecting the inside of the mouth of the dragon skull, the eyes, underneath it, behind it. Looking for any more mechanisms, buttons, levers, switches, the wire things that trip wires.
Go ahead and roll an investigation check. You as you jump across, you don't trigger any traps, so that's good. You
I'm gonna
easily
burn
leap
an
across the
advantage for this.
7 feet distance over the water. Runar's meanwhile pacing at the top of the stairs. Runar, what are you doing up there?
You know what? I'm gonna carefully move forward and peer around this corner.
Okay. What'd you roll, Byron?
I got a 24.
There's no mechanism that you can tell on this magical replication of a bronze dragon head. There is, as I mentioned, a small wooden box in front of you in the chest. There are bones mixed in with actually both chests now that you look closer. And there is basically a broken sword, just the hilt of a sword that's laying on top of the of the pile of gold as well. There's a lot of gold here. Runar, do you continue down that hallway one more space so you can see what's up ahead?
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of peek around this corner, like real carefully, watching where I step.
Sure. You can see that there again is the strange channel, the blood channel, that runs down this hallway and then takes a turn to the west after about 20 feet. Byron, what do you do?
Guys, I'm just getting the creeps from this. I don't know what it is.
No, neither do I. That's the problem.
Grab some shit. Let's move.
I don't want to grab anything. I want to burn it.
Byron, come back over.
Okay. You gonna blow it up?
No,
Why not?
trust
Byron,
me,
you
okay?
jump back across.
Okay. Jumping across.
Mage hand, pop! You said there's an unusual wooden box that stands out.
It's a strangely common looking box, as Feyre mentioned.
Suspiciously plain looking box.
There we
over
go.
there.
Theo will attempt to use Mage Hand to open the box.
You open the box up, and there is indeed a strange looking key inside this unusually plain looking box.
You use his Mage Hand to hold it up into the vague torchlight I'm sure we have going, or the green
The
lantern.
green lantern.
Does it look vaguely like the omen symbol for death?
100%.
Yeah, I'll compare it to my notes and be like, that's it.
That's the key. Float it over to Theo, and Theo, like, reaches out a hand to touch it, stops himself, and instead just uses the Mage Hand to put it in the bag of holding.
That was probably wise.
Was that it? Is that the key?
That's
I
the
think
key.
we found the
I think we
key.
got the key.
I think we. Let's go back to the door.
Do you grab
wait.
anything else from the treasure pile?
No.
Broken
Should we grab
sword,
Broken sword.
gold.
What is that?
Nothing but the lamp.
All right. You guys make your way back up, avoiding the glyph as best you can. You get back up to the top of the stairs. Where do you go from here?
Do we want to see what is further down the hallway?
Hey,
We should
Ethan, good to see you.
probably-
You want to fight a
should probably take
vampire?
peek. Probably take a peek at
So,
where that channel goes.
what you don't know is me and Captain have a history with vampires, and there is a part of me that desperately wants to burn, stake, and destroy any vampire we can get our dirty hands on. But I understand that in this moment that is an irrational want. But on the other hand, those were vampiric monsters above us. I think whatever was down that hallway has already gotten out.
The
Oh, it's possible. Maybe he's not here anymore. But
whatever
they
came,
need to go back somewhere to sleep. Or
whoever
do you think
came
he's
back,
moved on?
whoever came back here never found what we just found. We could move
So-
further than anybody has.
Let's
Or
go
we
to
can
the
walk
door
down
then.
this death hallway with a channel of blood going down it.
Fine, we'll go to the door. You are
What
being
if-
rational, and I
I wanna
support
go to
that.
What if the channel?
I want to go to
of
the
blood
death
goes
door,
to the
not
spot?
the death channel.
What if they go to the same spot?
There's so many great options in here, guys.
Yeah, I know.
Let us hope and pray they do not, Byron.
I want to go to the unknown door, not the obviously vampire king door.
Let's go to the door
Alright.
that we got the key for.
Seems
So you guys are
like
gonna
Okay.
backtrack?
We're
Backtrack?
going to backtrack.
We're gonna
All right.
backtrack to the door.
Gotcha. All right. So Theo has the key, so we'll put you at the door over here. Feyre and Runar are kind of at the top of the stairs
The light.
with the light.
I'm still
Theo,
carving
you,
my stakes.
Tell me what you do with this key.
Theo's gonna look everything over. For the record, while I know this is what we need to be doing, it is an intensely bad fucking idea. Are we all in agreement on that?
We knew
Well,
it. We knew
This,
it.
Live
we're in
together,
a dangerous
die
line of
together.
work.
Byron understands. Mage hand.
Oh shit! as you mage hand this in, we are being raided by Gazumba and company. Thank you so much, you guys, for being here.
Aw.
This is great
Hey
timing.
guys, we're about to make a really bad decision.
Bad decisions in Tamoachan. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, right.
All right, Theo, tell us what happens here. Welcome, everybody.
Theo's-
Thank you so much.
Theo is going to use Mage Hand to reach into his bag, pull out the strange key to this door. This key, which happens to be the Omen word for death, in the locked door above which it says, "Beyond these doors lie death itself."
This is all true.
Time to meet death.
And he is going to use Mage Hand to slot the key into the door.
It easily slides in as if it was made for this door. All that remains now is for you to turn the key and push said door open.
I'm going to use Mage Hand to turn the key. And then because of the nature of what's involved, I got to use my actual hands to push the door open.
That's too bad when you have to use your real hands for stuff.
Stupid real hands.
Yep. So as you open up this door, it reveals a deep, dark chamber. This somewhat different than those that you had seen before. Again, an older looking iconography along the walls. Behind this door, you see glyph-like markings, much more ancient. You look and see ahead of you, again, a coffin in the middle of the room. Along the walls, there are strange statue-like motifs of serpents, some sort of beast, some sort of hawk or raptor, perhaps a greyhawk, who knows. And then there is also something more troubling at the far end, is this very ornate carving of a strange bundle of eyes. One large eye, and upon various stalks, other eyes. And within the middle of the eye glows a crystal that shines a light, a blue light, a dull blue light within the room, illuminating the space. You've seen these crystals before. You saw them at the crash site outside of South Fort Azure. You saw them at the Pool of Gloom when you fought the corrupted Treant. You've seen these before. In fact, your companion Byron wears one around his neck. This is one of the Starfallen fragments of Hyakutake, strangely embedded in this ancient carving.
Wait, are those from the meteorites?
They may have been from an older one.
How did...
Remember the horn.
This is not the first time Hyakutake has been through Greyhawk. This chamber could have been sealed millennia ago after one of its passages.
Is it
Or I
safe to
certainly
enter?
hope so.
Or it could have been found like. a
And
year
Theo
ago.
literally turns around and stares at Runar. Captain, nothing in that room is fucking safe.
Are there any traps?
I don't
I'll take
know.
a
We'll
look.
need to ask Byron.
All right,
However, first, before you do, Byron,
okay.
Blue Eyes detect magic. Just detecting magic in that room. Let's see if I can see anything under the glare of the fragment.
Well, the fragment, of course, is giving off massive amounts of magical energy to you. There is along the seal of this coffin a faint glow of magic coming from within, as if perhaps the seal on this coffin is not quite as secure as the previous ones that you've investigated. Jay, thank you so much for dropping in here with all your friends. We really appreciate the raid. You guys are awesome. Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome to our Greyhawk story.
Are awesome. So Thea's going to point out, so the coffin is sealed with magic, but that magic seems to be flagging, which may explain, and he just kind of gestures upwards.
Yeah.
And I think there's a hole in that wall.
Which wall? Oh wow, that is a big hole. You're right.
Oh. Do you think
Are you guys
something
gonna-
got out or in?
That might be
don't
where the
know.
other hallway enters.
It would be hard to tell from where you guys are currently, just stacked up in a line in the stairs. You'd have to move into the room a little bit.
Theo is going to mouth a prayer to Heronius.
Smart.
And step into the room.
I will follow him, looking for traps.
Go ahead and roll investigation, Byron, as you start to expand. One of the things that you don't need to roll to see are these coagulated large piles of blood that appear to have stained the... Hey, thanks for the raid, Prometheus 2128. Stained the stones of this chamber. Very old. The air in here is stale. It appears as though this place has not been unsealed for perhaps thousands of years. It's unsure.
So it doesn't look like anybody's disturbed this room?
Aside from you? No.
Can't believe the craftsmanship.
Byron, you rolled a 17 investigation. You do not immediately see any traps at the bottom of the stairs from where you are currently located.
I think it's technically a 21.
Yep, because I used the magnifying glass.
Oh, got it. Yep,
He's
you don't
full
see
Sherlocking.
any. He's definitely Sherlocking. Thank you, Lex Fire.
I'm gonna sneak across the floor, super low, like a cat stalking its prey, looking for any more traps, looking, at this bird statue. Then I'll backtrack around, look at the snake and the beast statues.
Yeah, Theo's definitely gonna take a look at the statues.
I'm gonna see if I can find any more writing.
You investigate the statues. Go ahead and roll investigate. Everybody roll investigations as you look through this room. Feyre is not well versed in the symbolism of this space.
The symbology.
26 that time.
Between the green glow and the blue glow, it's very hard to see things.
Theo got a 14 investigation.
18.
Get it.
As you've descended into the ziggurat, you've noticed Byron and Runar and Theo. Feyre, you've noticed this too, but it's more prominent for the others. Is that things have changed in terms of the level of ornate carvings, the level of ornate iconography of the cuneiform symbolism of the place. It seems like with each level that you've descended, you've entered into a more ancient or older version of some sort of coherent lexicon, but it just seems older. The statues themselves, the three statues that you can see on the walls, don't appear to give off any sort of strange magic, Theo, as you look about. But they are carved to resemble serpents, a beast, and some sort of a flying raptor of some kind. You do notice now that you move into the room that there is in the southeast corner, the wall has been damaged. And it appears as though there is some sort of a fissure beyond the wall.
This was not originally here, and it's probably part of the reason things have gotten weird.
One thing that Byron realizes or notices as your friends Runar and Theo are walking through this space, Byron, you can see that what appears to be a stone eye is following Theo as he moves about.
All right.
Just very subtly. And at first you're like, wait a minute, did that just move? And then you look at it more intently and you can see that it just the eye just sort of like tracks Theo as he's moving towards that hole.
Is Feyre right next to me?
She's right behind you in the stairs.
Okay, I'm gonna lean back, look at Feyre.
What?
Be like, I'm gonna look right at the eye. I'm gonna point at my eye, and then I'm gonna point at the eye.
Do I notice
anything? I'm gonna pull my dagger out and hold it up to her.
Do you want me
to take it? I don't know.
I'm gonna whisper really, really, really quiet. We gotta hit that eye at the same time.
Oh.
Are
Okay.
you ready?
Yo.
Get your bow out. 3, 2.
Pull out my
What?
bow
And
and
she pulls her bows and
Ow.
rips an arrow into it. As soon as she lets that arrow fly, I'm gonna throw my dagger right behind it, right at the center of that eye.
Go ahead and roll an attack with your thrown dagger, please.
I'm loving it.
A 19 for my thrown dagger.
Okay.
And
You
Pharaoh
hit it.
was shooting an arrow too.
Okay. What do you have, Farah?
I'll do it with advantage just because.
Okay.
All right. That is 21 to hit. 12 damage.
Okay. That also hits. What were you aiming for specifically? You hit exactly where you're aiming for, but I'd like to know what you're aiming for.
This stone eye that was moving and following Theo.
So are you
I'm
you're
aiming
aiming
for
for the
the
eye?
pupil.
There's
Basically the
so
pupil.
in the pupil is the crystal.
That's what I'm going for.
That's what was following? Yeah, I'm aiming for the crystal then.
Okay. All right, you both hit it. Your dagger chips into it. The arrow ricochets off of it. Roll a d10 for me. One of you. Byron, go ahead and roll a d10.
An 8.
Jesus. All right. As you
When
hit
rolling
the
eyes
eye,
sucks.
this ray of energy blasts into the room. I need everybody to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh, my favorite. It's not my favorite.
I'm going to use one of my advantages.
I
I'm also
highly
gonna use
recommend
advantage.
that.
Same.
This one's from Lexfire22.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Thank
I got
you,
a 20
Lexfire.
with that.
Dex save, you said?
Yes, please.
Got 23 because of it.
We appreciate
Alternative
you.
was a natural 1.
17.
Okay. Wow. So we got a 20, a 21, a 23, and a 17. You all succeed. However, you watch as you're blasted with this energy that erupts from the eye, and you are suddenly restrained. You can't move, and you look down and you can see that your feet are starting to turn to stone.
Well, that's a fucking problem.
Is that a curse? Are we cursed?
Seconds pass and you look down and it's like the petrification is moving up your legs.
Theo will cast Dispel Magic on himself.
It's gone. You're able to move again.
Do me, quick,
How
I'm
many of
turning to
those do you
stone.
have?
Theo,
One more! And he runs over to Feyre and uses Dispel Magic on her.
No,
She's able to move again.
No,
I
I'm
could use
gonna
a
turn
greater
to stone.
restoration.
I've got nothing else.
Very
I just
expensive.
dispelled the ensorcelment.
I only have one of those.
I'm gonna call Chuck out of onto my shoulder. I'm gonna be like, Chuck, this is it. Turn into stone, dude.
Do it to
I need
Byron.
you.
Byron and Runar, you have a chance to repeat your save.
I'm going to use another advantage.
Yep, dex save.
Oh my.
Feyre's just like torn. Like, who do I save?
I got a 21 this time.
Nice.
2 less.
26.
Did you use an advantage as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Both of you succeed on your second saving throw, and you are able to somehow shrug off the petrification and pull your feet out and rocks kind of crumble at your feet.
Don't do that again.
Oh man, that scared me. Holy moly!
I just go and I hug Theo. You chose me.
Well, of
And
course, you're the second you're the second prettiest person in the room and the only other person who might have been able to save them.
Oh, well, I suppose you saying I'm useful is a compliment.
All right. Well,
I
that-
still think you are absolutely wonderful and amazing, but I am also a practical man when life is on the line.
that eye just tried to turn us to stone. We gotta
I
blow it up.
think we need to go down this hole in the wall.
As you peer through the hole, Runar and Theo, again, the eye kind of following you as you move, you can see that there is a unfinished fissure, a natural crack in the bedrock. It's hard to tell because you've been moving about underneath this ziggurat for what is probably close to an hour or two at this point. Where exactly you are, but it seems as though it heads farther away from the ziggurat proper. If you were to try to think about like where you might be relative to the ziggurat itself, you are moving in a direction possibly away from the central chambers of the ziggurat. But there is a fissure. There is, in addition to the blood stains that you saw in this room, you can see just barely make out before it gets too dark that there is a blood stain in this fissure as well.
I have a bad feeling something that was in here got out. So yes, let us follow it.
All right.
Speaking
we're
of
just
follow,
going to-
thanks for the follow, Mystical Bum. Appreciate it.
We're just
That's
gonna
a great
leave that
handle.
stone-causing eye.
I think we should get out of here before it does that again.
Yeah, we're
All
not going to
right.
hit it again.
Quickly.
Dave, can I tell if this wall was broken into this room or out the other way?
Possibly, yeah. Do you have like any sort of tool proficiencies or skills that might aid in that? Otherwise, it would just be a straight intelligence check.
I'll just do intelligence then.
Okay. Thanks for being here, you guys. Take care.
Without
We'll see ya.
advantage, it was only a 7.
A 7. It really hard to tell. It could be either. But what you do know is once you step into or through the actual built walls of this chamber, it appears as though this area is just a crack in the bedrock, and it goes on for a while. Byron and Farah, do you follow? Okay.
Reluctantly, though. I'm thinking. I keep looking back at the eye, like we're not done with you.
You should definitely threaten it a little bit.
Yeah, throw
I
more.
will. I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna
knives
walk
at it.
right up to it. I'm gonna look it right in the eye, and I'm gonna stick my tongue out, pull my ear. And then I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna walk in the tunnel of ignorance.
Throw some salt in it.
Ooh, I don't have
Just-
salt on me.
Throw
I
some
did-
salt in that gray hot gravy.
I dare you to poke it in the eye. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right, so you guys
Oh, man,
each
but I got
one by
dared
one.
By the DM.
No, I'm kidding. Don't do it. One by one. You step through this chamber, not seeking to open the sarcophagus. I don't know why you wouldn't want to open that, but you don't. You you head into this fissure that takes you deep into the bedrock below this ancient ziggurat. And we, my friends, will pick up here next week as you find out where this leads and what is hidden beneath the ruins of Tamoachan.
Murder!
As we get to our last
apparently.
episode
Yeah.
of this frickin' story arc, I'm so excited. I'm so
Woo!
and nervous and a little sad, but I'm excited.
Nearsighted.
Yeah, exactly. You guys, awesome stuff. Really quick, I want to remind people who are hanging out with us, we're gonna do a raid here in a second, but we are doing a giveaway. So ! drawing to get in on the giveaway. We're gonna be giving away a copy of Aquacadent, which is a 5e adventure for that is put together by our sponsor CZRPG. And then also we're giving away some beard oil from our friends at Old Goat Beard Company. This stuff is awesome. I use it. It's really good stuff. We've got beard oil, beard balm, but tonight we're giving away a vial of the beard oil. So ! drawing to get in on that. Uncle Fuzz 5, good luck. Scoo's News, good luck, buddy. This is good stuff. Hey, Turbok KV, welcome, you guys. Thank you so much for being here. All right, let's do this.
They can still enter, right?
They can enter, but we're gonna give this away in just a couple of seconds here.
People. Type it in now. It's your chance.
Really big shout out to these awesome players, Andy, Ashley, Michael, and Kirk. You guys have been here playing this game for a long time. You've put a lot of creativity into this game, your heart, your soul into your characters. I'm glad we got to explore a little bit of the motivations and possibly the things that they'll be doing after this adventure, should they live through it. I guess that's yet to be determined, but thank you guys. In IRL, you are awesome people, and I'm so glad to have been able to play this campaign with you. For folks who are wondering, we will be beginning a new story arc in the same campaign approximately at the same time that this takes place in a different part of Greyhawk, and that's going to be starting up here in September. So look forward to that and starting out some new stories. Without further ado, Ashley, if you would be so kind as to give us a countdown.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go.
Our first winner tonight is Prometheus 2128. Thanks for the raid tonight. We appreciate your support. You have won, Prometheus. You can determine if you want to get the adventure or the beard oil. It's up to you. Let us know. I see that you're in the chat, so thank you for being here. So just give us a heads up on which way you want to go with that, and we're going to go ahead and roll a second winner. Prometheus is going to take the adventure. So it looks like Justin Ludlow. Justin, if you are still here, you have won the beard oil. Use it for your beard or give it to somebody else who has a beard. It's totally up to you. I will reach out to both of you after we raid tonight, and I'll get your contact information, and we'll make sure that we get some prizes out to you. Again, thank you so much, you guys, for playing. Monday night, next Monday, this is actually really exciting. So Tithalanos, who is a guild member, is going to be running their very first streamed DMing session, also their first DMing session. So that's next Monday. That's going to be it's going to be amazing. We hope you'll all come by and support Ty as they get into that. It's going to be really fun. We're super excited. Let's see here. What is happening in the raid area here tonight? I know that our usual raid, we usually raid into Phoenix, but Phoenix is out. So we're going to go ahead and raid into, what do we have here, guys?
Oh.
Let's see. We're going to raid into Creepshow.
Creepshow.
Yeah, Creep has played in our games before. Was actually in our Viking Death Squad game not too long ago. So please give Creep some love. We love you all. We will see you Monday, and come back next Wednesday for the finale of this crazy thing. We'll see you next time.
Finale.